Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.
Well, this is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 603. It is our 2018 Transformers Year in Review edition. I am Brian Kilby. I know, right? We're going to try to get through this. Nobody's happy about being here. Hopefully you are, dear listener.
Yeah.
Or at least he's faking it better than the rest of us.
This one is always a slog because we have 12 pages of show notes. That's effectively one page per month. And we go through it pretty quick just to remind you of how this works. On this episode, we're going to review our 2018 predictions from the first show. Actually, it was the last show of 2017, but, you know, it is what it is. We're going to talk about our favorite news item and our favorite toy. And, of course, we recap the news for the year. So, the news, we're going to do a month-by-month review. We used to do this for toys and then, like, media and everything else, but it didn't make sense to do it that way. So, we're just going to follow toys month by month. We're going to quickly move through each item, but we want to give as complete a view of the year as possible. We're going to index heavily on official toys. Let's just go into the predictions. We're going to go ahead and jump into that, and we'll start off with the first prediction from Chris. And I think that Chris's prediction pretty much sums up sort of where Transformers are right now. So, in 2017, Chris predicted for 2018 for Transformers, disappointment.
Yep, that's the one I got right.
Yeah, so
he gets my vote.
So basically, he said with so many leaks in 2017, what's left to see? I said also we're all going to die probably, which didn't happen. So I'm going to say that's wrong.
Don't say that, Brian. My month has sucked, and we've got a day left.
Yes,
I'll kick that forward for next year as one of my predictions too, if you want.
But basically, your idea,
just let it roll.
Your idea was that there wasn't much left to see in 2018 because of all the leaks in 2017, and I don't disagree with that so much. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't leaked, but nothing was that great.
And I think a decent amount of the stuff that didn't get leaked was stuff that when it came out wasn't also actually new. Like G1 reissues, the Unite Warriors Blast Off mold coming out. Like, there was two things I think I would say were new that didn't get leaked way in advance. But, like, for the most part, we either saw it or it's stuff we'd seen in the past that they were just recycling forward.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil my top news of the year, but I will say that I think there was one or two really good news items that popped up in 2018, but I don't know that they were enough to make you incorrect. So I think we agree that your one prediction was accurate. So
that was probably my strategy last year too. Like, make one really good prediction so that I get the 100% rate for once. And just, let it go, let it rest.
I think it worked. For me, I hit 50%. My prediction one was Bumblebee starring John Cena will not perform as well as the last night. Totally accurate. We nailed that one. I was not the only one to predict that. My bold prediction, though, there would be an official Transformers convention above and beyond HasCon that would be announced. I don't think I could have gotten that more wrong than I did.
No, that's pretty wrong.
And definitely not going to happen next year either, so hopefully no one predicts it.
Yeah. That's not happening next year either. So Diecast, I think Diecast went 0 for 2. His first prediction was Bumblebee will outperform the last night. Nope, not even close.
At that point, did we know it was going to be in December, or did we still think it was going to be?
That's a good question.
We did. I'm pretty sure we still did.
Okay. Because I was hoping to kind of backpedal on that and be like, it's not my fault they released it at a different time of the year.
Yeah.
Well, it's not any of our fault, but
no, yeah. And his other prediction was a third-party Unicron. I don't think that happened.
Nope.
How did that not happen? There's 145 third-party companies. I think we did a count. John did a count. There's like 135.
And that's an old count, so there's probably more by now.
Yeah,
if we could just get them all to each make one part of a gigantic Unicron.
We could be the size of a person.
I thought someone was going to do it by now, but
yeah, you would have thought. But Don's not here, unfortunately. But Don's prediction: the Collectors Club will resurface. Nope, did not happen. Did not happen. His prediction number 2, Masterpiece RC. Nope, did not happen. Nope.
No, but there was that one thing we never talked about, which you could call the disaster piece for RC.
Yeah.
But we don't want to speak of that ever.
No.
Yeah, no, no, the word disaster piece just popped in my head, and I had to make that one.
Love it.
I like
Yeah.
it. Don's bold prediction, number 2, though, did end up happening. Masterpiece, Beast Wars Megatron.
Yay.
Yeah, you got that one right. And, of course, his third bold prediction's wrong. Animated Omega Supreme would be announced.
Well,
Yeah,
much like the Bumblebee performance, that's more just wishful thinking.
Yeah, why does anybody actually think that's going to happen at this point? It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Headmaster Don loves his windmills. What can we say?
He does love tilting at windmills. So Don went 1 for 4. Melvar, prediction 1. Bumblebee is this. You nailed this one. Bumblebee is going to have low expectations, which won't even be met.
Damn it. This is all your fault, Matt.
You completely.
That's
nailed that
why I
one.
didn't want to go see the movie.
You did say, though, that I would go see it 3 times. I didn't know I would have kids at that point, so I did agree that I would see it 3 times. But prediction number 2, you had 4. Takara, Power of the Primes, will return to Unite Warrior style box sets, and we would get Lio Kaiser. So there's like a double one in there, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, that sucks.
Another one, Masterpiece Trailbreaker, did not happen.
No.
And we would get new mini bots, specifically Huffer, Cliffjumper, and Warpath. We didn't get any of those, did we?
No, and we also didn't know about Siege at the time.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, I wish I could say that you got the first one right, but I don't even think you're going to. Bumblebee will make its budget back. And
sadly, it's not looking like it, especially since I was reading yesterday that Aquaman's stay in Chinese theaters has been extended to the point where it will probably be butting heads with Bumblebee there, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job, Paramount.
You said it will at least be profitable, but you did say it'll be critically received better than the other Transformers movies, which is accurate, but not accurate enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot about this one. You said there would be a leak or an announcement of a Power of the Primes leader class Starsaber. Also did not happen.
No, I don't know if at this point in last year we were assuming that Power of the Primes was only going to be 4 waves already, but
I don't think we were.
Yeah, so that was a hard one to guess. I think we would have gotten Starsaber if it went to 6 waves like everything else, but didn't happen.
John went 0 for 3, by the way. Bumblebee overperforms. Nope, did not happen. He also predicted Unite Warrior style box sets with G2 Protectobots. Did not happen. And a new MP Seeker mold, and all 3 original Seekers would be released at the same time. Very bold prediction.
That is bold.
Did not happen.
Not the new Seeker mold, because I think eventually that is going to happen. But
yeah, and it'll be $500.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah, I actually had that on my predictions list for this year and crossed it out. So I was like, no, not yet.
So yeah, that's unfortunately not the case. So we will have our predictions for 2019 on next week's episode, and that is something we'll talk about at the 2019 year in review. So when you make
good, I still have like 10 days to come up with one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, make them good. Be bold, but
no, can't make me. I'm going to give you garbage, and you can't do anything about it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do our favorite news item in review. I'll just start. I'm probably stealing Matt's, but I think one of the bright spots. I'm just going to do one, and I'm not doing Botbots, believe it or not. My news item of the year is Legends LGEX Big Powered exclusive would be released or will be released. Of course, that is the extensive. That's the retool of Sky Shadow, Misfire, and Twin Twist. There'll be Diatlas, Sonic Bomber, and Roadfire, and they'll be out.
March.
Yeah, March.
I think it comes out at the end of March in Japan.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I mostly because I think with the way the Power of the Primes is going and the way Siege would be turning out also for Takara, I think we had some concerns that there might not be some cool exclusive stuff coming out, and of course it is, and it's big powered. So you really kind of came out of left field. So we're super excited to see that. That's kind of when I think of things I love about Transformers, it's stuff like this, and it's nice to get the 1984 Autobots again and again and again and again and again and again. But I like it when I get something like this that I don't already have, and I've always wanted like a Diatlas, and I'm never going to get the original one. And this one looks phenomenal, all things considered. So super pleased with that. I'm going to follow just the way that I see you guys on the screens. I'm going to go to Chris next. What's your favorite news item of 2018?
I think you make a really good case for big powered, because with Power of the Primes coming out and then seeing that Takara was doing the exact same toys and the exact same decos with the exact same damn stickers, actually seeing an LGEX release that's new stuff, new retooling, new decos, no stickers, thank you. Like that was a real bright spot in the toy news for the year, and like I can't think of anything outside of that really measures up. Like maybe the runner up for me would be finding out that MP43 Beast Wars Megatron was going to have the toothbrush.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
That's a strong runner up for me, but I've got peculiar tastes. I'll give it to big powered.
Matt.
Okay, well, both you and Chris stole mine, and since you both went before me, you stole all my bullet points too on why. So, yeah,
that was a real convenience for me though, because it meant I had to do a lot less work.
Yeah, Takara Tomy, big powered box set all the way.
Can't wait. Diecast.
I'm gonna go with the Encore Green Unicron,
really?
Just because I've been asking for Unicron, and I got some sort of Unicron.
Have you opened it yet?
It's not Unicron though. It's just a bunch of Minicons stacked on top of each other, pretending to be Unicron
in a trench coat.
But I did open it today, and it's a lot prettier in person.
And it's solid. It's super solid.
Yep, the chest doesn't open and close like Matt's release did of Unicron. It's actually really good, and it was a surprise that it was coming out. I think because we learned about it last year, right?
Yeah, in 2018. It was a while back, and we didn't know what it was going to look. We assumed it was just going to be like the straight up Armada release when it came out, but it certainly wasn't. Okay, I'm surprised by that. That's a good one. Jason, you weren't here to make any predictions or anything last year, so this is your first year in review. What's your 2018 news item?
I think I had sent you an audio file of predictions, but you didn't play on the show, which I understand completely.
Probably never saw it.
Oh, no, you made a comment. You said Jason just sent me his predictions. I'm not playing them on the show tonight.
Oh, I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah. I think I predicted Beast Wars Megatron, which that wasn't a hard one. So, news story, probably when they announced the Transformers versus Star Trek comic, because at that point we had no idea what was going to happen. Obviously, big fan of Star Trek and Transformers. And it seemed like they were going to at least take a little bit of a fun approach to things moving forward. And if they were going to pick something that wasn't the main comic, but something fun, I think that pretty much nailed it for me. I don't know if I'd say it's living up to that expectation, but I am enjoying it. So, but yeah, it was definitely, when I heard the story, I was very excited. So I think that would count as my pretty much new story for the year.
Have you been reading GoBots as well?
I have not read the second issue yet.
I think I like GoBots better, but I do love...
Well, I'm not surprised by that, yeah.
But what if Tom Scioli had been writing Star Trek versus Transformers?
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
That would
Oh, God. I want to live in that universe.
The world would implode.
I want to live there. Okay, Rob.
Okay, well, along those lines, I'm going to say my news story for the year is John Barber getting promoted to editor-in-chief of all of IDW, because things like Transformers versus G.I. Joe and the people that he brought on and all the things he did for Transformers comics, he is now going to get to do for the entire company. And I think with them about to restart their Transformers comics and everything else that IDW does, I think he is the right person for the job at the right moment, and I think it's going to be fantastic for them.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great one. 2018 was not my 2017 wasn't either for comics. I was going back to pretty much my favorite comics have been published in the last several years, which was Dan Slott's Amazing Spider-Man. I'm like, how far back am I? And I haven't read an issue since 2015. So that's about how far back I am on my Transformers comics as well. Yeah, I've not been a good Transformers fan or comics fan in general. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our 2018 favorite toy. I'll start, and this, I wasn't going to have one originally. Nothing really stood out to me as like that amazing. But if I had to pick one, it's going to be Donutimus Prime. Or whatever the hell the name of the donut is from Botbots.
Good pick.
Yeah, because it's so cute. I love Botbots so much. In my mind, he's the leader of the Botbots. He's in the logo, so I think that makes him the de facto leader. And he's just a cool little toy. Is it as complex, say, as Masterpiece Dinobot? No. But for, that's what, in one of the $10 packs.
It's in a variety of packs, I think, at both the $10 and $15 level.
So for a $10 package, you get a barrel of fun and a transforming donut. So I would recommend, if you can find it, pick it up. It may reignite your love for Transformers, and it may not. I don't know.
Or it might just make you want the donut.
I don't have, I got to drive at least half an hour to get a good donut. Makes me sad.
I'd have to go farther than that, because the only thing we have in town is Dunkin'.
Yeah, I've got like 5 Dunkins within 10 minutes of me, and I just don't do it.
Yeah, I need a Krispy Kreme, man.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme, the worldwide headquarters is 45 minutes from here, which is about the distance to an actual Krispy Kreme restaurant, which makes no sense. Okay, Chris.
I'm going to go with Punch Counterpunch.
Okay.
Unexpected, nice surprise, and it ended up turning out really well. And even though it was billed as a Power of the Primes toy, it had no combiner function to kind of hamper what it was trying to do. It just focused on being a really good interpretation of that character. And it's not perfect, but I'm really happy with it, and I'm looking forward to eventually seeing this mold turn up again, probably in whatever comes after Siege.
That's a very good pick, because
if they can still afford to produce it, then
so much could have gone wrong with that.
Yeah. And if I was thinking on Power of the Primes as a whole, there was things that was interesting or fun in the moment, but thinking back on them later, I just don't feel any strong connection to most of it, and none of it really felt like Toy of the Year material. But Punch Counterpunch really impressed me, and Botbots I'm considering 2019 toys because they're so close to the end of the year, and it's usually the case where we get the stuff a month or two early. But I think Punch Counterpunch is a really it's a strong showing for 2018, and at least we got one really memorable thing out of Power of the Primes. Offhand, I probably couldn't remember half the stuff that actually came out in that line, which is unusual for me.
I can't think of anything that I really love out of Power of the Primes, but I can already think of several toys I love out of Siege. And considering how much that, we didn't think that was going to happen, it's been really surprising. Matt.
Okay, so Takara Tomy Masterpiece, Sunstreaker / Corden. Wonderful, wonderful mold.
It is.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
I still need Corden.
Yes, you really, really do.
Okay, that's a solid choice. Any thoughts behind it, or it's just because it's so beautiful?
Well, because it is so beautiful, because we thought with the licensing that it would never, ever, ever happen, and because I've messed with Bad Cube Sun Surge, and that was a flaming piece of garbage.
Yeah, I'm going to say Sun Surge is perfectly serviceable. It's not. It's Don says it's a good toy. I was playing with mine recently. I was transforming it after you half transformed it, and I gotta say,
you made me stop.
Did I? No, I thought you just.
You made him stop because he was making noise doing it while we were trying to do a show.
That's right. Oh. Okay, that's right. But I think it's actually really good. But Sunstreaker, 1,000,000 times better. It's not even close.
At least 1,000,000.
It's so much better. It's so much better. Diecast.
And I'll
Oh.
I will absolutely buy a red redeco if they do it. I will have 3 of these.
Yeah, it's a great toy.
I know I'm having a hard time thinking of anything from this year that really surprised me or wowed me.
You're asking
You just got a Unicron.
It's not what he wanted though.
It didn't wow me. I mean, the colors wowed me, but it didn't wow me in the sense that it's just straight up.
What about?
It's not exactly a revelation.
Yeah,
No.
new mold.
What about Sunstreaker's great. I mean, I could see Dinobot being great. Siege, Megatron.
Well, no,
he
he broke his Dinobot.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Filming his review.
Forgot about that.
I didn't want to do third party, but I'm going to go with the X-Transbots.
Wow.
Wild Rider.
X-Transbots, toy of the year.
Yeah, it surprised me because I didn't.
Somebody tweeted
expect this
X-Transbots.
to-
Tell them that.
Yeah, I never thought I would say
this is just
either.
another in diecast string of bad opinions. For
Yeah, I never thought I would pick
It looks good. That's the scary part.
It's solid. It's really solid. It's a decent transformation. It cleans up real nice. I mean,
I actually do like the way that looks.
yeah, I was shocked. I mean, I got it because of the combiner, and I love it for the individual robot.
I like it for the individual robots, but I've seen the prototype of what the combiner's going to look like, and I don't like it at all for that.
Oh, is that the one where it's like a whole Menasor body and then the cars are just kind of stapled onto the back of the limbs where you can't even really see them?
That's the one.
I mean, it's cartoon accurate, but at the same time, like, wow, that sure was a choice. And I think the arm ones you actually have to split apart to make work
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
from how that prototype looks.
So weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason.
I'm also gonna have to go third party because I was racking my mind for first party and couldn't
Power
really
Baser,
do
Power Baser.
anything.
Power Baster.
Actually, close. I am gonna go with Power Master Prime, but I'm gonna go with Make Toys and their Thunder Manus. I adore that toy to the point where its crotch assembly was a little tight and the hips were a little creaky. So I actually got a hold of Make Toys to ask them about it. And they went above and beyond. They sent me out a new crotch assembly for me to take. Yeah, so huge shout out to Make Toys. They'd be getting this even if they hadn't, because if that toy had broken, I would have been the saddest person in the world because I like it so much. But yeah, they sent it out. I had it within like 2 weeks, and now it's a perfect toy again. And I mean, if you want to give Power Baser 2A or 1A, be my guest, because I really do like them both. But Thunder Mass is nice because you can just take it and set it in front of you and mess around with it while you're doing stuff, and it's a little easier to handle than Power Baser, considering how big that is. But yeah, Make Toys, Thunder Manus all the way. Love that toy. Ridiculous amounts of love for that toy.
Cool. Rob.
I was having a hard time with this too, but I'm going to go with Siege Cog and basically any other Siege Deluxe, because taken on his own, he's not anything particularly great. You know, he kind of has some limitations that do not flatter him until you take him apart and start combining him with other things, at which point he becomes fantastic. So I'm really liking that play pattern. I'm liking sticking him on Sideswipe and Hound. I cannot wait for the other weaponizers. So it's probably the most refreshing thing I've gotten in a long time, and I think that's worth a toy of the year.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward right now to when we do this next year to see like what our opinions are of Siege, when by all indications it's going to be over with. At that point we'll have the whole line to look at as a whole and like pick favorites from, because we've had some really surprising reactions just off of wave one, and you know, hopefully the subsequent waves will actually even step it up a little bit from here. Also, before we move on from this, can we have a dishonorable mention segment here for Encore Godfire Convoy?
Well, I was going to get Don's out because Don did tell me his, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. So Godfire Convoy.
Because like that felt like the most unnecessary thing just from the start, because you could go and get secondhand copies of those toys for the same or less as what that Encore set ended up costing. I think that ended up being like 25,000 yen.
So there was
It was
retail?
expensive.
There's
It was
one.
expensive.
Yeah.
There's one for $50 at a comic shop near me. So that I skipped on. So
Yeah, so, and then when the thing came out, like, it had deco updates to look more cartoon accurate and stuff, which actually looked pretty good. They put new sound chips in it and everything. But then when it came out, it was just like this quality control disaster, stress parts and things not fitting together correctly. They ended up recalling it with the excuse of that one of these, voluntary recall with the excuse that one of these sound clips was incorrect. Where I think we can all look at that and see that's a smokescreen.
Yeah, so now I need to go ahead and my annual thread that I follow during the notes where I make a funny. I got to scratch out like 7 entries. So it'll take me a few minutes here during the show. No, it's good. Okay, so Don's Toy of the Year. So I spoke to Don just before the show. He wasn't able to be on, but he wanted to let me know for the 31st year in a row, Leoric from Visionaries is his Toy of the Year. And hope you guys can go out and find one. He loves it. He thinks that you really need a Leoric from Visionaries. So Don's Toy of the Year.
See, Don, this is what you get for calling in sick.
So we are going to do our month-over-month recap of 2018. Again, we over-index on toys because it's a toy line, and not all of us read the comics. And you can't. It's hard to spoil a toy, but you can certainly spoil a comic or a movie. So we're not going to, do much in the way of talking about that stuff. So January 2018, we saw early official photos and got the plot synopsis of Bumblebee via press release. And I think at that point we just really did not know what to think. I think we assumed it probably would still be better because they were trying to go in a different direction and it wasn't Michael Bay. But still kind of hard to figure out what was going on. So also in January, we got a teaser for a Soundwave figure from, that would be the MAS Mega Action Series Soundwave. Did this actually come out? Does Diecast have
Not
this?
yet.
Nope.
I love it. I can't wait for it to come out.
What's about 2 feet tall? That's how big these things, they're pretty big, right?
Yeah,
14 inches, I
they're
think?
about 16, 17 inches.
So you have what, Optimus? And
I have Optimus. I never picked up Megatron yet. I should, but
they're about $200. Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. But so we still don't have that yet. Okay, so we got our first look at Power of the Primes, Road Trap, Battle Slash, and Tailgate from Legends Wave 2. So I think that at that point, did we know that Battle Trap was coming out? Was that part of the initial leak from 2017? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, we had the entire Power of the Primes line leaked to us in the middle of 2017.
Damn.
Yeah.
So also another set of photos from Power of the Primes in package, finally at least. But so there's a lot of statue stuff in 2018. So Imaginarium art. We got a preview of a Megatron statue. I don't remember ever seeing this. Did this one come out?
I don't remember ever seeing any of them come out.
Yeah,
Like, all I
yeah.
ever see of these is we're in the middle of working on this and pre-orders will be coming soon, and then it's just like nobody talks about it again.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one again. We got our first look at the Wizards of the Coast Transformers trading card game that Diecast loves.
That did come out.
It did come out.
Yes.
Another, so Flame Toys, Kuro Kara Curry Drift. That came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we got photos of that. That was certainly something that happened. We got a full,
Speaking of,
yeah, we got the full voice cast for Power of the Primes. Power of the Primes ended up being better than the other two, though.
Yeah,
I'll
it
take your
wasn't
word
bad.
for it.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, but that's like saying that having a hammer dropped on your foot is better than having a nail run through your foot.
I sat all the way through Titan's Return and I checked out of this one. I don't think I ever finished it.
I sat all the way through Combiner Wars in one sitting and checked out after that.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I don't think I ever watched anything. Wait, I did watch a little bit of Titan's Return because the Colonel Sanders or the Foghorn Leghorn Overlord. That was in.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. God, what a terrible
Now,
show.
boy,
I do
What was even
declare.
going on with
I
that?
do declare, Optimus Prime. You give me the vapors. Okay.
He's a great voice actor. It's just that show and voice direction, man.
Who was the
Oh.
voice actor for that?
Patrick Sayers.
Oh.
He's done like Kill la Kill, and he's in My Hero Academia.
We got official photos of MPM6 Masterpiece movie Ironhide. I don't own a single Masterpiece movie figure, so I have no idea if any of these actually came out.
They all came
Iron,
out.
yeah, Ironhide had a little bit of a struggle being released. I think it was intentionally delayed until after Volkswagen Bumblebee came out, but it has gotten in people's hands, and most people don't like it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. New Hasbro assortments rumored. Bumblebee movie toys and movie Mighty Mugs. Did those come out?
Assume
didn't
yes, because
see-
I've seen Mighty Mugs from other things at Big Lots. So
You can buy the Bumblebee Mighty Mug on Hasbro Toy Shop. That's it.
Yeah, I've not encountered that. I'm surprised that this happened so late. I figured we'd have seen this in 2017. Volcanicus in combined form. Which
This might be the first color look at it. I remember during HasCon they had a special invite event where people could go and have a hands-on with like gray prototype version.
Yeah.
I've never combined my Dinobots, and nor will I ever.
neither have
Well,
I, because the Dinobots don't combine.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, I haven't either because I skipped on Grimlock because I'd rather just have like Deluxe Classics Grimlock with them, so they're all the same size.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's see here. I'm going to skip around a little bit because some of these just are not that exciting. Power of the Primes, Blast Off package art. We still didn't know at that point when or how that was coming out, did we?
Well, as is referenced in the next line item, Mayhem returns. Well, not exactly.
Yeah, but Blast Off and Repugnance, we got listings for those. Okay, so Transformers authentic 7-inch figures, visual photos of Optimus Prime, Grimlock, and Bumblebee. You know, when we saw these, I don't think we knew they were going to be bad. But we didn't know how bad until we actually held them in hand.
We knew they were going to be different.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're the
Different.
they're the worst Transformers that I've ever held.
By which you mean the worst official Transformers product.
They're up there with Impossible toys.
Yes, but I think it's necessary to make that distinction that like there are worse things that transform and are made to look like Transformers. These are the worst actual Transformers
Yes.
you've ever
I
handled.
think we kind of started to get an inkling of what these were going to be like when we saw that Grimlock in 3/4 perspective and he had no leg there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I remember at the time we assumed that was someone being like over eager with the Photoshop. But no.
No, that's real.
So Transformers Devastation basically went offline for purchase from the online software stores, whatever you want to call it, like the Xbox game store, the PlayStation store. And that was because
Steam.
that's because they lost the license to do Transformers games, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can find that on disc for cheap, it's a decent little game and it's worth playing.
It's not bad.
Like,
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Walmart still carries physical copies of that. I saw that like as recently as a month and a half ago.
And it's
Cool.
not expensive either.
Yeah, it's worth
No.
I'm sure.
it. So back in January,
It never was expensive.
this is not a news item, but Rob wrote an editorial on Hasbro. Please stop sticking us with stickers. So
Well said.
yes, yeah, you nailed it. Okay, so Toys R Us. We learned early on that Toys R Us was not doing well, and the first news item of 2018 was that Toys R Us was going to close 180 stores, and basically at that point was just like whenever there's a major chain closing stores, you check to see if your store is surviving. I think my stores survived the first cut. Mine
didn't.
Yeah, so Don's I think closed too. Don thought he had the smallest one in the chain until I think he visited the Hickory store. Then he saw that he was one of the two smallest stores in the chain. Hickory, North Carolina.
Oh, I'm so glad I stopped at that on my way back from North Carolina because I wouldn't have believed there could be a Toys R Us that small if I hadn't actually been there.
The thing is, that store, it was basically having normal operations up until it closed because they were getting an extra inventory. So as you would go into other stores, it looked like they were closing. It looked like it was just normal business. It was really weird. And because of that, they had extra discounts. So like an extra 10 or 20% off of everything over and above the normal clearance. Takartomi, Power of the Primes, Wave 2, showed us that, it was just the same stuff that we got here in the U.S. So the years or even decades, I guess, of better repaints that, you would get from Takara because the economy is different when they, it's the second use of the mold. That wasn't happening. We got high-res photos of MP34S, Shadow Panther, or Shadow Panther, if you are a fan of Ravage 3 Bodies Evolution by Tiger Megatron of Alt Toys Transformers circa 1998. I just wanted to mention that because that came out and I completely forgot. I'm like, wow, I should get that. Then I looked on my shelf. Oh, I have that.
And 3 Bodies Evolution was like 2001 or 2002.
I thought it was 98. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 98. I guess it couldn't. Well, no. Agenda was.
It was inspired by the Tripredicus Agent Transmetal 2 toy, which is a Walmart exclusive, which came out in either 2001 or 2002.
Yeah,
I can't remember specifically which, but it was one of those.
Transmetal 2 Cheetor, yeah. What a crappy toy that was. And Transmetal 1 Cheetor was so brilliant. It's a shame. Rodimus Unicronus in images. I just honestly had thought that already come out at that point. Like 3 months after this, I got it on clearance at Walmart for $20.
Yeah, I remember being severely disappointed in this that they had gone shattered glass instead of the e-hobby colors.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I would have much preferred. But then I found it on deep clearance like immediately after it came out. So. Yeah.
MPM, more Ironhide stuff, more photos. Hasbro Cinematic Universe scales back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Bet we'll see that again next year, too.
Yeah. There's still...
Oh, it's funny, but it's sad.
So there's still... I guess this is the shared universe aspect of it, but there's talks going on. And people ask, hey, why don't you mention this stuff about the Optimus Prime movie? Or the Cybertron movie?
I don't think those are talks so much as denial, Brian.
Yeah, but no, but there's always discussions going on about movies. So until dollars actually exchange hands, or things start to get serious, it's not worth talking about. So I see the same thing for a potential Snake Eyes movie, and I don't follow G.I. Joe like I follow Transformers, obviously. So I don't know if there's actual work going into that, but I don't hear much of anything when it comes to Hasbro movie properties anymore.
How great would it be if they make a Bumblebee movie where Bumblebee doesn't speak and a Snake Eyes movie where Snake Eyes does speak?
Yeah. Let's see. So
what if Nick Cage as Snake Eyes?
Oh, I would love it.
Jeez.
Could we just have like Nick Cage doing Spider-Man Noir in a Snake Eyes outfit?
Sure. I don't care.
Sure.
I would watch that movie.
Transformers last night.
It just needs to be. Sorry, it just needs to be a really obvious and bad ripoff of Deadpool, though.
Yes.
So last night receives multiple Razzies. I mean, all of the Transformers movies up till this point, I think, received Razzies, except for maybe the first one. So it's not really that surprising.
Although I think this is the first time it actually won any. I think.
Maybe.
I don't remember. I do know that it tied Age of Extinction with the most nominations at 9.
February. New trademark filed. Transformers Botbots. I wonder what that is.
Wow.
Did those ever come out?
That.
Yeah, I know, right? This story, if this was not linked to a story, I'm going to leave it in anyway. Hasbro sales fall. Star Wars creates cools. What was the last Skywalker? No. What was the last Skywalker mainline trilogy movie that came out?
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. So Last Jedi did really well, but it did not do as much as Force Awakens. Not even close. No. Solo bombed, but this was before Solo came out. So sales of Star Wars figures obviously, declined with the lessening of interest in Star Wars movies. And yeah, it did not help. And that was, I guess, the first shoe to drop in 2018 for Hasbro. Authentics 4.5-inch figure sighted in Wichita, Kansas. Dollar General, they should have stayed there. Those are actually better than the 7.5, the 7-inch figures, but not by a long shot. Evergreen products on the way. Voyager and deluxe style packaging designs leaked.
Nothing ever came of this.
No, not yet.
No.
It's a secret to everybody.
It
Because Brian didn't like
Toy Fair is coming
7-inch
soon, so
one.
maybe, but
It's a year. It's a year later. I don't think anything's going to happen with that. I mean,
Probably not.
even though a year out, that's still something that could come out. It's not like the Weebles from 2010, but I don't know.
I would kind of want to think that with Generations being its own thing and them, I kind of wonder if this was like something that was considered to put between Power of the Primes and Siege, if getting Siege together took longer than they thought, just because, they did shorten Power of the Primes, and I still get the sense that at some point in the plan for Power of the Primes, it was a 6-wave line. But I kind of think that if this was going to take up any kind of space on the shelves, probably Studio Series took its place, and I just get the sense that is done better for Hasbro than they expected.
yeah, it's entirely possible this was something they had in consideration for when they didn't know how they were going to handle the Bumblebee movie being delayed.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Or this could just be the victim of some general contraction in Hasbro's Transformers output for this year.
Yeah. Something I completely forgot about. Black Convoy exclusive based on the not escape mode, evasion mode Optimus Prime.
Evasion mode.
Yeah. Did anybody buy this?
No, but I love the look of it.
Was this the evasion mode one or the Titans Return?
Evasion mode one.
Evasion.
When I put this in the show notes, I thought it was Titans Return, but it's not.
That was last year's Year Fest.
I completely forgot about this. It looks nice. As much as I hate myself for saying it. Okay.
Yeah, the Wonderfest exclusives can be difficult to get, so I'm not surprised if we don't even know anybody who ended up getting that.
I feel like it was like going for like $200 or something crazy like that.
So Evergreen and Bumblebee movie lines to debut in the fall as part of a coordinated brand refresh. Now, Evergreen didn't come out in wave, but like Cyberverse did. Were we mixing our metaphors at this point?
We were still not 100% clear as to
Kind
the
of.
distinctions between Evergreen and Cyberverse and all of those things, because Hasbro has really still not been clear exactly on the distinctions. Like, they were kind of going for this universal brand refresh that had Evergreen, the Evergreen designs being like, done in a more kid-friendly, cartoonish way for Cyberverse, and then in a more like generic, general way for certain licensing products. And I don't know if this was a competitor for the slot that Siege took up or what. There's just still a mystery here as to what happened to those figures. If there were, you have to presume there was something since there were packaging designs, but who can even say?
Yeah.
Yeah, Evergreen was always ever just a design style, not ever going to be
You're
a
right. It's
line
not a line.
to its own thing.
The closest thing would be Authentics, but that's still it's still Authentics and it's not Evergreen. It just follows the design style.
Yeah, Authentics is part of the Evergreen product environment, just like Cyberverse is in its way, and the various license things. This is just another one of those situations where we as fans know too much about how the sausage is being made, but not enough to actually talk about it correctly in the first place.
I agree with
And
you.
we'll never know, unfortunately.
Right.
So speaking of fans knowing too much, Studio Series soon. I mean, it's one of those things like, tags started showing up, so people started asking questions. Tags were found at Meyer, Ford Leader Deluxe and Voyager figures. We would be waiting for that stuff. Oh yeah, so
It just goes to show how long 2018 has felt that I saw that in the notes, and it's like, wait, Studio Series only started this year? It feels like it's been going on, a couple of years already.
I know. It
Yep.
really
The Studio
does.
Series was also one of those things in the mid-2017 giant leak. We just didn't have exactly the context for what it was at that time.
So we got photos, I guess, and package shots of Bumblebee in the Camaro, the 76 Camaro. So next one. So Authentics 4.5-inch figures sighted in Georgia. It's getting eerily close to North Carolina. I probably should have tried to avoid it instead of actually making my way across town to where Family Dollar is. And because I hate going to Family Dollar. I don't think I hate going anywhere more than I hate going to Family Dollar, but I went several times. And, yeah, it took me a while to find it, and I was so disappointed. So disappointed. I did find a copy of Mighty Number 9 on disc. For some reason.
And you were so disappointed.
Yeah, I was a backer to that Kickstarter. I was already disappointed, but for some reason I wanted it on disc as well. In hand photos,
Mega Man Authentics.
Yes, nailed it. Exactly right.
Nice.
In hand photos.
Impossible Toys Mega Man, actually.
Photos of Wave 2 Deluxes, Moonracer, Blackwing, Sludge, Snarl, and Ripper Snapper.
Did those ever come out?
This is the wave that had either distribution or production or some sort of issue because it took forever to get.
Well, it's Wave 2, so I imagine everybody over-ordered on Wave 1 and then just kept refreshing the shelves with that and never ordered Wave 2.
No, it's even people who ordered Wave 2 that couldn't get them. Like the online retailers.
Yeah, there was challenges getting them online too, especially if you didn't go through like BBTS or TF stores. Like, if you didn't go through someone who's got like the direct Hasbro distribution thing going on, you would have been waiting a while. Even Amazon, I think, was slow to get those in.
Yeah, I don't think I got mine till August.
I don't remember where I got mine.
Man.
It was.
I have no idea.
It had to the point where when I finally found a Ripper Snapper on, like, I think BBTS, I snagged it, which, fun fact, my son will be getting that for his birthday next weekend because I ended up getting another one. So, there, cool. Purchased.
Okay, so Toy Fair happened. What in the hell even happened at Toy Fair this year? It was just Power of the Prime stuff, right?
Studio Series.
Yeah, it was all that stuff
we ordered Stinger.
In the summer of 2017.
Yeah, I think the Cyberverse stuff is the only stuff that was even remotely new.
Yeah.
So one thing that popped up that I have never seen in person are the Super 7 muscle style figures. Does anybody like a box? Comes like $100, so they're like $4 each, something like that, which is just way too much for what it is. As much as I love that style figure, they also Super 7 had what was it like in the 70s? There was like that anatomic model toy that you could get. They had human organs. They did a Transformers version
Visible
of that.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a trend at that point in Japan of doing things like Mazinger Z, like with a half transparent like that.
Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff that popped up at Toy Fair that I've never actually seen in person. Not saying it didn't come out. But yeah, I guess for the sake of the people who are listening to this that don't know what we're talking about, there was a huge leak. Did we do a leak cast for this in 2017? I think Jason.
Oh yeah,
we think so.
We did podcast coverage. I think we made it an extra because like I even was putting out the call on the mailing list. Like we need to get some people together and talk about this right now.
This was the leak that Hasbro came to all the major sites and said, "Hey, delete this." Yeah. So we had already posted the show is already on YouTube. They didn't come to us, so. Of course, we're not
still there.
A podcast on a major site, so so we didn't really do much in the way of showing photos. We talked about the leak. So basically, almost all of Prime, Power of the Primes was leaked. Whether it was art, sketches, it was from looked like it was from a conference call over Skype that Hasbro is having with I guess people in their supply chain. Talking about the line, and somebody had did a snag it or a screen grab of all the stuff, and
they were taking pictures of it with their phone.
Oh God, it's even worse. Like a lot of times your computer or your phone will have software on it that will preclude you from doing screenshots for reasons like that. So you have people work around it. I wonder if that person's still employed.
Well, so there was a Hasbro employee named on the slides, and that's the person I hope is still employed because it was probably no fault of his own
Yeah, they're doing
that
their job.
the material got out.
Yeah, they were doing their job. Is whoever in wherever locale that took the photos with the camera and said, "I'll put this on Reddit or wherever, Weibo," and that's certainly what happened. But yeah, so Toy Fair was halfway ruined, and that's been the case for the last few years. Yeah.
Wasn't Toy Fair 2017 actually pretty good for us?
That was the movie stuff, wasn't it? Where we got like that really awesome Leader and Voyager sized Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we were actually pretty happy with the Toy Fair reveals in 2017.
Power of the Primes was ruined though for that. I mean, Titan's Return was ruined in 2017 for us.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I don't know anything coming up for this Toy Fair other than like the Titan figure, the Omega Supreme. So I think I need to put my head under a rock for like a month and a half. 2 months.
I hate to break it to you, Diecast, but through like Amazon early listings and stuff, we also already know about everything that's coming out for Siege.
Wait, but we
may not have seen it yet, but we know what everything is.
Okay, so Toys R Us UK enters administration. Customers advised to spend their gift cards now as the website stops selling goods. Things were not looking good for Toys R Us at this point, and would only get worse. MPM 40 Target Master Hot Rod, we got photos of that. I don't think I picked it up. It's a slightly different shade of red or whatever color, and he has a Target Master. Was it a new Firebolt, or was it the one that came with...
I think it was actually the one from the Hasbro Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, it is. I think it was slightly modified to fit Hot Rod's hands, but I think otherwise it was the same.
I never got that Firebolt. I never got that edition of Rodimus. I may still pick that up. I think it's still available.
No, you don't need it.
I didn't like the colors on it. That's why I didn't pick it up.
I just don't like that Hot Rod very much.
Yeah. So IDW Comics review Optimus Prime 16. So I'd completely forgotten there's even an Optimus Prime comic, and that was not still the primary comic, but I wanted to mention it because we are moving toward. Well, I'll talk about it in a second. So, first look at Power of the Primes: Inferno, Outback, and Cindersar. That Inferno ended up being pretty great. Outback ended up being pretty good. Cindersaur is, what it is. So we got our first look at the studio series Thundercracker Toys R Us, which would not stay a Toys R Us exclusive forever.
Yeah, that was poorly timed.
It was poorly timed.
That was the last Toys R Us exclusive to actually get to the store.
Yeah. So we got information on the Transformers G1 vinyl soundtrack that ended up having that weird mix on it. Really weird mix.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that too. Toys R Us reportedly preparing to liquidate its U.S. operations. Boom.
Yeah.
That was, I was never to Toys R Us until I was an adult. I do have fond memories of like Toys R Us commercials, but I never went to one. And so it didn't hit me like it did a lot of you guys. Yeah. But I still really hated to see Toys R Us, in this shape. And now Kmart's going through this. At least my local Kmart's closing down.
Mine is too, finally.
That's probably the last one left.
Yeah.
I can't believe mine is still in business. I'm shocked.
Yeah. I hate to see this happen because, not only is it, a place to go shopping and buy stuff, it's, people's livelihood. Kim, worked for not Toys R Us, for Kmart for years. And she actually, I think, worked in that store from time to time. So she is, it's personally impacts her. Let's see here. UK Toys R Us to close down within 6 weeks. So Chris Ryall to leave the job as IDW's chief creative officer. That was interesting, I guess, timing on that. So I guess more on that later. Toys R Us begin liquidating some stores. Is Thursday. Wow, that was quick.
They did not waste time.
Although that didn't actually end up happening because I think somebody started a court case to stop them from beginning the liquidation process before I think all the creditors could be consulted or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact details, but there was a delay on that. But at the time that was posted, yes, they were saying like we are going to start right now doing this.
Oh, and
Yeah, I think it was like a 2-week delay or something.
in the wake of all this, like corpses started to be dredged up. One of them was somebody was going to bring KB back, which there's been nothing's moved on that.
Yeah.
We're going to save the toy industry, some person who wanted to buy the Kmart KB IP said. Yeah, people were like, oh, wow, this is going to be awesome. And I'm like, this isn't going to happen. And guess what?
They made shirts, I think.
Yeah,
you can get a KB toy shirt.
I was right.
I would love to get a KB toy shirt.
It sounded extremely ambitious at a time that it was probably not going to be that ambitious.
Nope.
You know, this is it.
If somebody wanted to make like a polo shirt that looked like a KB Toys uniform shirt, I would totally buy one just for irony.
It's funny the way it goes because, you know, as we got towards Christmas this year, I'm like, whatever happened to that KB Toys thing? And I'm thinking in my head, maybe that's for next year.
It's not.
No, it was supposed to be this year.
Oh,
Well, and again, that was sounding way too ambitious to actually happen. So
Yeah, that's the thing where you like go on the internet before you have any investors lined up, and then you start shopping around for investors, and everybody says,
Yeah. So we got some initial images of the Takara Tomy Encore robots in the skies. Godfire Convoy. What a mess. We got more details on Unicron, which was going to be the grand finale to 12 or 6 or whatever, depending on how you look at it, years of IDW continuity. So we learned that IDW's Transformers universe would end. All good things come to an end. Jean-Luc. Takara Tomy Encore, we talked about that one. Power of the Primes, Titan class Predaking. We got photos of the individual Predacons, and I don't think anybody was too excited about that.
No. Yeah, it was really easy to tell that if you were going to buy it, you're going to buy it for combined mode. Like there was never a question about that, even from the photos.
We got photos
And combined mode's not that great either, but
it's okay.
At least in terms of looks. In terms of engineering, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
like, where did the top of the legs go? Oh, back on the two bottom feet.
So
why Titan class? Why?
I think
Titan size with no engineering.
I think we move all the way through February and March. So basically everything that we talked about for February actually took place in February and March because there wasn't any news after Toy Fair. It always works out that way. So Toy Fair happened, all the news happened, and so we're actually now in April. Power of the Primes, Nemesis Prime coming soon. That came out, didn't it? I have that, don't I?
Oh,
yeah.
God, yes. That was kind of a candidate for Toy of the Year for me because it's nice.
I'm looking for it on my shelf. I don't see it. That came out retail, didn't it?
Amazon.
Oh,
We have a TF Radio link for it.
okay.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
It's one of those things. If I saw it on the shelf, I would pick it up and I would just have a second one.
Yeah, so like Jason was saying that was a candidate for Toy of the Year, but for me it was Tuesday. No, for me it's another example of like a lot of this stuff it was interesting at the time, but it was not memorable in any long-term sense.
Siege Optimus is so much better. I want a Siege Optimus Nemesis Prime.
I am stupidly tempted to buy the eyebrow truck.
Yeah, I know.
No, trucker hat.
Okay, so what else happened? More photos of Encore Godfire Convoy, sadly.
Well, we didn't know at the time what that was going to turn into, so...
Ooh,
but no one was excited about it because of the price.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of talk about the price, just we didn't know what it was going to turn into
So,
when it came out.
So LGEX, Great Shot, and Grand Max were both announced. And being Takara Tomy Mall exclusives. And oh my god, that was not like Great Shot is so pretty, and Grand Max
I bought them both.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I don't remember how much I paid for Grand Max, but it's the most
a lot.
It's the most I've spent on a Transformer in the longest time. It's a lot.
I mean, it had to be in the $300 range.
Oh God, I'm afraid to look.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Don't. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, those. I finally got Grand Max, and of course, it's not the G1 Grand Max, and I don't have to have it under a not a pillow, under a blanket like Don has his.
In a closet under a blanket.
So I've been doing a lot of thinking about like where I want my collection to go, as I age, and there's a lot of things like I buy basically everything that I want that comes out. For the most part, yeah.
On the show sometimes.
On the show sometimes. Sticking
frequently on the show.
Sticking to official stuff. But like if I ever really get to the point where I don't buy new stuff, I do want to go back and buy, classic stuff I don't have. And I don't know that I need a Grand Max because I'm pretty satisfied with that one. But I would like to go back and get a lot of the Japanese stuff that I don't have or I used to have and I don't have anymore.
Yeah, I mean there's a select few G1 and adjacent era toys that I'd be interested in going and picking up at some point when I had the means.
Yeah.
I actually probably would get a G1 Grand Max because it's probably the most distinctive release of that mold, what with the Pretender shell. But like that G1 Overlord, like stuff that has like playset value or just like interesting engineering kind of stuff, like stuff that doesn't get replicated in modern toys the same way.
Yeah.
Like the same way we complained a lot about Titan's Return Fortress Maximus for not really living up to what the original was in a lot of respects.
Yeah, so like whenever a third-party toy comes out and Don will say, well, this fills a hole in my collection, I always wanted this toy. I'm like, no, it doesn't, because it's not the same thing. And like when it comes to new versions of those characters, I'm usually the same way. But for whatever reason, these just fill that gap for me, and I'm entirely good with that. Just something strange about it. Okay, so what else do we have? Flame Toys Tarn, official images of that.
That came out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves it. If they got it.
Yeah. Is it limited? Is it hard to come by?
It's expensive.
$300. Or no, $400. I'm sorry. He's $100 more than Drift.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Well, he's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it. I can live without that.
I'll take it.
Okay.
They might end up doing like a Furai model Tarn at
I
some
hope
point because
so.
they're doing a Furai model Drift. We found out much later.
So for April Fools, we got Studio Series Jazz in hand photos. Thing is, you can't see it.
Yeah, they called it a deluxe.
You can't see it because the hand, like the folds in the skin obscure the figure.
That was the April Fool's part.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bad joke. It's a tiny little toy that's supposed to be a deluxe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's here. Yeah.
The most expensive Legends class figure.
Yeah. It's
It is
so
a third party.
You didn't get those. You didn't get the Generations book mail away Legends, huh? Because those would be the most expensive Legends in history.
Oh, ha 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 ha. Yeah. So there's that. Power of the Primes, Prime Master, Bomb Burst, Bludgeon, and Octopunch. Those came out.
Still never saw those.
They're great.
Hard to find in stores, but they did come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rescue Bots Academy cartoon announced. Did it ever come out? Is it on?
There's been some preview episodes. It debuts January 9th.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yes, I looked that up because that was coming up. I didn't know that off the top of my head.
And some of the first toys have started to turn up in stores too.
Yeah.
So there was a rumor going back to something Chris said earlier of a recall for Encore Godfire Convoy, and there's a rumor about it. Wasn't the case until it was the case because I guess Takara decided that they really did have to recall the toy for like rubber on the wheels. It was already like breaking down. There's just a lot of problems with the toy, and I'm glad I didn't buy it. We got photos of Power of the Primes Deluxe Wreck-Gar. I know Rob Springer on Zone Base had talked about it because of his source at Walgreens, but I think the source leaked it was from what, Weibo or something?
Yeah, it was that jerk with the purple marker again.
So that finally came out. You know, for whatever reason, I found myself wanting to buy it on the Japanese version from Takara just to have the different packaging. Because it's still like $20, so it's not like it's, you know, the exchange rate is favorable. But I almost ordered it this past week, and I thought I don't need another one because I think I already have 2. Matt has 4.
I have 4.
Yeah, you have 4.
Yeah. You need to have 4 because you need to make a whole combiner out of them.
Hasbro's earnings don't want to grow up because Toys R Us is closing its doors. Not a good year for Hasbro. This is the second shoe to drop. After Star Wars, we're learning that Toys R Us is going to have a financial impact on the success and future of Hasbro more as it develops, and that's still a story that's going on right now. I honestly had forgotten about this until recently when the store back in November, which I think we'll talk about, but when the investors are filing suit against, maybe September, filing suit against Hasbro because they didn't disclose all of the potential impacts of Toys R Us's closing would have on Hasbro. It's just really not been Hasbro's year. So hopefully 2019 will be better for the people that produce the toys that we love and, you know, possibly the engine for us existing. I don't know.
Maybe they can get the DC license.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, that's
Spin Masters.
So
some of our audience just said who, and I honestly don't remember what else they've done either.
Yeah.
Right.
We'd already talked about Studio Series Thundercracker moving out of Toys R Us, so that finally happened in April. Power of the Prime's Optimal Optimus fan vote leader figure. We finally got photos of that, or the final stock photos before it came out. Gosh, it seemed like that was either much later or much earlier. I don't know. Well,
it was like another 5 months before you could actually buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did see it at Toy Fair. I remember seeing him there.
I still don't think I've seen one at retail.
Neither have I.
I don't know that I have either.
I saw
not in the
one.
store, but Amazon eventually did get them for retail.
Yeah, I got mine from Amazon.
Granted, my last easily accessible retail location is the Kmart that's about to close, so yeah.
Oops.
We got photos of Titan Class Pride of King. Again, you know, nobody was too excited about that toy. We got speaking of not too excited, Machinima Power of the Primes web series premiere date revealed. And we saw the trailer Optimal Optimus. Who cares? For Optimus Primal. Flame toys. God, there's a lot of Flame toys and a lot of models stuff that happened this year.
Oh, yeah.
The Optimus Prime action figure kit. You have that, Jason?
Oh, yes.
That looks nice.
Oh, I love it.
Jason,
Does
his crotch always have to be sticking out, or can you...
No, he just likes it that way.
Now. It's not now.
Oh, okay, because that's the one thing that stopped me from buying those.
Yeah, now the Starscream model looks like you can't really do much about that, but the Prime model's fine.
40
and it
points
won't be a problem with like Megatron. Oh yeah, this thing can do anything. It has me researching what Gundam markers are, so that should tell you something.
How much did it run you?
35.
Not bad. Where'd you get it?
I know. BBTS, and Ant got me the Nemesis Prime version at New York Toy Fair. So thanks again, Ant.
Sweet.
And apparently, Barnes and Nobles are starting to carry these too.
Yes.
Also in April, we learned that James Roberts would be taking a break from Transformers after the conclusion of Lost Light. We don't.
Duh.
Yeah, but that's nothing new on that. He's done with Transformers, at least for the time being, right?
Yeah, I think
everybody who was involved creatively with Transformers before the continuity ended is done with Transformers, effectively.
I believe he mentioned on Twitter that he may be pitching some kind of one-shot in the near future, but that's pretty much his only plans at the moment, to my knowledge.
Okay, moving into May, we got the first episode of Power of the Primes, The Swamp. Somewhat better, still not great. IDW promotes John Barber to editor-in-chief.
Oop, oop.
So that's a good news item.
Oh, yeah.
So, movie masterpiece Barricade hits Amazon, or at least it was listed on Amazon. It actually wouldn't show up for, actual purchase for months. I pre-ordered it, and that pre-order is eventually canceled because they're like, whoops, we can't get this. pretty lame.
And actually, it's still available for $60.73 as of the time of this recording.
Nice. Let's see here. Masterpiece Megatron. We got new glimpses at the figure in P42 Corden. First looks at the Sunstreaker Redeco. Beautiful toy. We learned that we would get Masterpiece Plus versions of Shockwave and Megatron that would be toy based.
And a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And absolutely wonderful.
Is Megatron that much more expensive? I know Shockwave is more expensive.
I don't think it's more expensive than the initial release, but the initial release was... Yeah, the initial release was like $250 or $270 or something ridiculous like that.
Pretty crazy. Okay, so new Transformers Cyberverse Happy Meal toys revealed. They would never come out as Cyberverse. They would in fact come out as Bumblebee later on. So.
Yep.
And what I never did I ever actually get one? I think I went to go. I asked for Transformers Bumblebee Happy Meal, and they gave me something from like Robots in Disguise. I never got a Bumblebee figure.
It didn't happen to
Bumblebee
me like
with
2
the
or
wings.
3 times.
Yeah, it happened to me twice.
My son has a Shockwave and a Starscream if you really want one that bad.
And I tweeted at McDonald's, but apparently they don't care.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So that happened. Let's see what else. Volcanicus. We learned that a gift set combiner gift set was coming to China.
Just the retail release is dumped into a fancy box, though. Not a gift set in the way we would think of it from previous releases.
Okay, so the Toys That Made Us Season 2 was coming out. They showed off the G1 Unicron prototype that I have only seen in person once through a Facebook stream, so that's pretty cool. Power of the Primes Special Edition Repugnance and Counterpunch listings at Amazon. We learned that a G1 Hot Rod reissue would come to Walmart as part of the...
And indeed it did, and now it's gone to the Walmart clearance aisle.
I just checked mine. It's gone up from $13 to $21.
It was never $13 in store. That was online only, I believe.
Correct. So we have the last night premiere edition Hot Rod turning up at closeout. Was that Ross? I know it hit Ollie's eventually, but it was after this.
Ross.
Okay.
Ross
I got them
Marshall's
from
those
Ross.
things.
They probably showed up at TJ Maxx too, but this was notable because up to this point, you could sometimes get them for SRP on Walmart's website, but they were never stocked in the stores. This was the first opportunity anybody had to actually get them on a store shelf for $8.
And I saw one about a month ago, maybe 2, and almost got it and realized that I just did not care.
You don't need it. Trust me.
Yeah, I bought one of the Ross ones and still have never opened it. Also bought one for Eric. I don't know if he ever opened it. I don't even know if I actually ever sent it to him. Come to think of it.
I think you did.
So back in May, Hasbro Pulse was updated.
Who cares?
Their Instagram was updated with a photo of what they call pretend engineering. It's like pretend engineering. It's like a portmanteau, combining 2 words into one. It's basically, if you think of like programming, it's kind of like pseudocode. It's kind of like if you were to figure out what the engineering would sort of look like. So they draw it out, but it's not really like a CAD model. It's just sort of to think through the engineering, thinking through the process. So, I mean, it's pretty cool that you get a glimpse into how Transformers are designed. I don't know that it really changes the way that I think about Transformers in any way, or if it really gives us any...
No, for us, I don't think this really was telling us anything we didn't already understand, but we have to, as always, keep in mind there's people who are newer to this hobby than we are, who might not have had access to this knowledge beforehand, and I think that's who this is really targeting for, not the fan community as a whole, but the people who are coming into it with newer products who don't have the years of BotCons behind them like we do.
So Imaginarium Art showed off their G1RC statue of horrors that is just so horrible.
And in true 2018 fashion, 2018 said, "Hold my beer" later in the year.
Yeah, 2018 was not a good year for RC depictions.
No.
It was pretty horrible.
Sorry, we're not talking about some of it still.
Yeah. But that statue is just abysmal. Don, I think it hurt his feelings.
Good. I mean, that statue deserves nothing better.
Yeah.
That statue doesn't look that bad to me now compared to the other.
In hindsight.
Yeah.
So
Still, it's like you will notice that we just never see Transformers statues of any of the male characters that look like they could be achieved with the correct degree of body paint.
yeah, I know. God. So we got more images of Predaking. Gosh, it feels like that toy should have already come out. I feel like I've had it a million years at this point. We got Power of the Primes, Missing Prime Masters, teased new images. We've, of course, later on, I guess back in July, maybe at the earliest, or August the latest, we would figure out where these would actually come out. But we got photos teased of that. Moving into June, we learned that our buddy Anthony Bercali was a consultant on the toys that made us. So that's cool. And again, I want to point out, I've watched the first season in its entirety, and I loved it. But as someone who's watched and I hate whenever something Transformers hits popular culture, or even something like that, people always send it to me. So they're like, "Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw this." But I can say that watching the toys that made us, I wasn't once like, "Well, actually, not once." So
now you know why.
They did a great job. Yes, they did an absolute great job pulling that together. So God, I'm not daring to click on this link about the Imaginarium art. Oh, so it doesn't have like Ratchet with like his crotch sticking out or wearing a codpiece. So Imaginarium art did a G1 Ratchet statue that is not, flagrantly sexualized and, hypersexual. It doesn't even look good. So I think I'm not a fan.
Well, the RC didn't look good either. I mean, that's kind of an odd bridge to make there.
I think I'm not a fan of Imaginarium art now, because I like that.
It's possible.
That Megatron one they showed off looked okay, but I don't like Ratchet. I hate that RC. So yeah, I'm not a fan of their stuff. I just made that decision. Okay, so we got in-hand photos. I thought this was earlier. The
announcement would have been earlier, but the announcement actually might have been part of the late 2017 news.
I think so.
It took forever for the toys to come out. Street Fighter 2 Cross Transformers. We got photos of the 2 packs in hand. Of course, one was like Ken and Chun-Li, which was Hot Rod and RC. And then Ryu, however you want to pronounce it, and M. Bison, or Vega. I was going to say M. Bison, but it's Vega in Japan. Which was what, Megatron and
Megatron Optimus.
Okay, yeah. So
the triple changer molds.
Yeah. So I've got those somewhere. They are now obscured with other crap in front of them, but I would take one of those if I could get them. We got Transformers the movie teaser trailer, and of course Chris did a lot of screenshots from that. I don't remember what our initial thoughts were, but I think it didn't look, again, hypersexualized like the first 3 Bay movies.
Yeah, so the teaser trailer was met with a lot of surprised optimism. Because up to that point, we had no concrete reason to think that it was actually going to be better, but this teaser trailer was actually very promising looking.
I forgot. Did it have Blitzwing in it? And at the time, we still thought it was Starscream?
Starscream?
Yeah.
I think just a glimpse of him.
Yeah, one of the names that was going around at the time was Ramjet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we learned that G1 Hot Rod was in the supply chain to Walmart. We learned that the Australian release of Masterpiece Shadow Panther is canceled. Did that have anything to do with Toys R Us?
That was a mess.
Yes, that was the dirtiest piece of business from the entire Toys R Us thing. Well, one of the dirtiest if you don't count all the people who never got any severance. The sale got canceled, and Toys R Us Australia told the customers, "By the way, we're keeping your money."
Yeah, talk to your bank.
Yep. Because at that point, they were already in the bankruptcy process and didn't have the free assets left to actually issue any refunds.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
So the options customers had were to either file disputes with their banks, where they would most likely get their money back, basically no questions asked, or to get put on a list of creditors, essentially, to have the money refunded out of the company's assets if any was left by the time they got that far down the list.
Sad. Okay, so I completely forgot about this news item, so this makes me happy. Toilet Troop, Techie Team, new codename Transformers listing at Walmart. Codenamed
Amazon.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, we thought that Techie Team, Greaser Gang, Jock Squad were code names for something else. Boy, were
Yes,
they
I remember being very confused.
Oh yeah.
But things work out in the end. So of course
We didn't even make the Botbots connection with
not.
these back then, did we?
No,
Yeah,
because
no,
we didn't
no.
know what Botbots were.
Yeah, my
Right.
guess was that these were like code names for some of the teams of Micromasters we were going to be getting under siege.
and that makes perfect sense
Yeah.
at the time. Perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Except for Toilet Troop.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, you never know.
Could have been a sewage truck, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so Barricade and Bumblebee the movie. Quick comment from voice actor Jess Harnell.
Yeah, so that's an interesting
Yeah.
thing that never materialized.
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm thinking back. I watched the movie. I don't remember Barricade being in it.
No, but there was a prominent police car chase scene, which we saw in some of the trailers too. And among other things, it just makes me think that there was a lot of late in the game changes to the movie's storyline.
There was a thread, I believe, on 2005 in the last couple of days about someone who saw one of the early test screenings for this like a year ago, outlining the changes that occurred to the movie between now and then. And a lot of changes were made to basically distance this from the 2007 movie, and I have a feeling that's probably where Barricade went.
Makes sense. Let's see here. Tokyo Toy Show 2018. Better photos of Masterpiece Optimus Prime version 3. So we just learned that this was going to be a thing, and we were still trying to figure out like how big the figure would be. Like, what's the point of it? And I think from this we were able to extrapolate that it was going to be basically the same size as MP10.
Then yeah.
So we didn't know, of course, how much it was going to be at that point, but we still felt that it was kind of unnecessary.
We still couldn't get color photos of it. It
No,
took a
no.
long time.
Not yet.
It took a while. We got additional info on MP43 Megatron. We learned about the Transformers 35th Anniversary Golden Lagoon set, and I swore that I would buy those figures, and I have not bought a single one. For Black Friday, was it TF Source that had that Optimus on clearance or on Black Friday sale?
Yeah.
For like,
$100.
yeah, for like $100. So I figure, if they have that on Black Friday for $100, it probably means it's not selling that great. So hopefully, if I wait, I can snag it for like $70.
Or just don't buy it.
So,
Yeah. Or
so
just
you were
don't buy
saying
it.
something, I think, about not liking Imaginarium art style a few minutes ago.
Oh gosh, the Starscream statue, the limited edition of 150. Yeah, this one's just weird.
Did any of these statues ever come out?
Well, that's always the question, isn't it?
I think their Grimlock one they did has.
Let's just presume.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not awful.
Starscream is better than the other ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's one of those things, though. You have to get it just right, or it looks off, and it looks off because they didn't get it just right. But it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's like it has to be either so stylized different that you just have to assume it's something different, or not, or a different thing, or it's the Uncanny Valley kicks in, and the Uncanny Valley kicks in with this.
I can kind of see the Gundam model painting technique they're aping for the detailing and the weathering on his legs, and I was never a fan of that to begin with, so yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Star Trek versus Transformers, boldly going where no Cybertronian has gone before this September. I remember being so excited about that.
Me and you, baby.
And I still really like the first issue. We also learned that Toys R Us Australia was going to close all stores.
Poor Paul.
Yeah. Paul. Poor Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, was it this past year that Paul was sick? Or was it we lost track, or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay.
It's hard to tell because this year has been,
It's been-
17 years stapled together.
You're exactly right.
This is like the age of extinction of years, where you just keep going through it, and it just keeps going on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else we got going on? The shipping date leaked for Power of the Prime's Retgar, which basically tells you within 2 months of when you should hopefully see it, which I think I got mine in November.
That's That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Late
Yeah, I think-
October, November, something like that.
Yeah, sounds about right for me too.
New details on Power of the Prime's Counterpunch, which we learned is going to be really Punch Counterpunch, because we thought it was just going to be like, you know,
The Jazz retool.
Yeah. So super excited about that. One interesting thing was that FunPub renewed the BotCon trademark, which why wouldn't they? You know, if you own it, keep it, protect it, and you can always potentially later on use it for like your
Or license it to someone.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got new photos of MP43 Megatron, so there's a lot of stuff there. We got clear photos of MP44 Optimus. I don't think we knew the designation at that point.
No, we didn't.
So
no, that's still relatively new, actually.
That came with the price point, actually.
So in July, we started seeing stuff for SDCC, including that Bumblebee set, the Throne of the Primes. What else do we get? The Super 7 X-Ray Optimus, which we saw part of that at Toy Fair. We learned that the Bumblebee movie cast would appear. Of course, it's San Diego Comic-Con. There's nothing to do with comics at San Diego Comic-Con. It's a media convention.
Especially when Marvel took the year off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned that. So we learned that Takara Tomy products would ship in December, including what we thought was going to be Masterpiece Megatron, which ended up moving, Unicron, and etc. We got side-by-side photos of the Power of the Primes Blast Off versus the Combiner Wars version. And they are much different than even at the time I was expecting them to be, because I just figured it was going to be a straight-up release of that toy, but it certainly wasn't. What else? Repugnus. We got our first look at that. Go 90, which I didn't realize that Go 90 meant that you take your phone and you turn it 90 degrees.
Yeah, that wasn't really obvious, was it?
No. That was going away, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, good and bad, because one that ended up getting discontinued, they put all the Machinima Transformers shows on YouTube where anybody could accidentally stumble upon them and be harmed.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Let's see here. War for Cybertron Trilogy, we teased with a reveal of the first subline title. Did we know that it was Siege at that point, or was it they still calling it? Were we still just saying War for Cybertron? I guess
War for Cybertron.
It did say Siege.
It was, like not the whole word was there, I believe, but it was
just
like
GE.
4 of the 5 letters.
That's when we were speculating it might be Siege.
Yeah.
So that certainly happened. Skipping through here. We learned that Starscream would be coming out, as well as some of the mini-bots and Devastator at Walmart again. Okay, so we got photos of the Unicron reissue that literally just came out. Unicron of Light. Yeah, Chris had just mentioned YouTube would be getting Power of the Primes because of Go 90. So the Free Comic Book Day Unicron number 0 was reviewed. I have it. I never read it.
Me too.
Yeah, it takes them a few months for them to put it out free on like digital platforms.
No, I actually got.
Well, that's not even how that. Yeah, that's not even how we got it to review. Alex Milne was nice enough as to send me and Chris both a physical copy of the issue.
That's right.
And yeah, I naturally I'm just keeping that in the envelope that he reinforced so carefully until I can find a place to display that the comic and the illustration he sent with it. But
nice.
I just
really cool.
Yeah, shout out to Alex for doing that, and apologies to Alex for not reviewing the rest of Unicron. But in terms of reviewing comics, we just got kind of burnt this year.
And
Our review, the art was great. The whole thing was amazing.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have read Unicron. I really like the ending. Alex drew his heart out on this. Go see it. It's worth reading.
And again, I haven't read mine because it's my read pile going back to 2015.
Sorry, Alex, we're bad at this.
The funny thing is,
yeah,
I had the time to read some comics, and couple weeks ago, and what I sat down to read, it was like The Adventures of Captain America by Fabian Nicieza that came out like in the 90s, and I read it like 10 times. But I sat down and I read like all 4 issues of that, and I could have read something new, but I didn't.
Before you finished that thought, I was going to say you had some time to read some comics, but then you went and adopted some kids instead.
Well, yeah, of course, this was at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just couldn't sleep. So, this is true. Okay, so I haven't adopted the kids yet. That's so.
Well, shorthand, you know.
Yeah, true. What is the? Okay, we more about the Siege stuff. Hit Amazon. Nothing major there. Barricade finally hit Amazon. Masterpiece movie Barricade. GoBots Return. Okay, so this was also a big deal for me. Tom Scioli penned and drawn GoBots comic, and I had no idea what to expect. I mean, the issue's been out a couple of months now, so I'm not gonna. Anybody else read it besides me? So it's a completely different premise from GoBots that we know, and of course, I guess that's because of the weird licensing issues with GoBots. Hasbro owns part of it. I guess Bandai still owns other aspects of it, so it has nothing to do with other than the likenesses and the names, and I guess personalities, which I guess you can't copyright. It basically has nothing to do with GoBots that we've read in the past, and it's crazy, and I love it. So,
that's kind of how Scioli does it too.
Yeah, so definitely go back, and if you haven't picked those up yet, do it. It's worth reading. So we had an SDCC recap, going back, talking about a lot of stuff about Siege. Diecast, I forgot, were you there for the press release, or the not press release, the panel, or was that like the next day? Oh,
SDCC?
No, that was SDCC. He wasn't there at all.
I'm thinking New York Comic Con. Sorry. Yeah.
The big takeaway from this was there were no Decepticons.
Yeah, at that point, we had no idea. Decepticons, like, why are there no Decepticons so far? Let's see here. Okay, so, again, more Hasbro financial concerns. Hasbro rebounding from Toys R Us demise and planning to move much of the remaining production out of China. How much do they have in China? I thought everything was in Vietnam at this point, or most everything.
Well, of course, everything we get, but that's not everything they make.
That's true. Good point.
True.
Fair.
And this, I guess, was kind of a smokescreen also. Like, they're like, hey, we're okay. We're fine.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue later in the year.
Yeah, and next year.
Alleged smokescreen, by the way. Alleged smokescreen. We got photos, Rekgar. I think we were all pretty happy with it. Because we knew that at that point we could combine it. It was a combiner. G1 reissues were finally spotted in store at the end of July. Come August. And again, some of these stories might have happened like in July, but like we covered it in August. That's the way that we're talking about it. We learned that we would be getting a Masterpiece Hound, finally. We've not seen...
And this actually came in color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have not heard a single thing about it since then.
Not one thing. Not a thing. Not a thing.
Yeah.
It's really suspicious that they were showing just gray prototypes of MP44 Prime for months, but the first time they ever showed Hound off, it was all painted and pretty and everything, and then it's just like, what Hound?
Yeah.
This is when it kind of shows proof of they maybe just have designs and they're just choosing which one they want to come out when.
Probably depends to a certain degree on the licenses and things.
Yeah, that very well could. Okay, so interesting story. We learned in August, or I guess maybe late July, that there would be a Fathom event of Transformers the movie in theaters nationwide. And they actually ended up having to expand it because of the popularity. I went to it. My theater was full, jam-packed. And I was really surprised by that there are so many people who care about a mediocre animated film from 1986.
Yeah, I wish it had been anywhere around me.
Mine was filled, and it wasn't the movie theater wasn't animated like it would be on a release day, or
animated, you mean people were into it? People weren't.
Yeah.
Oh God, people were so into it at my theater.
When Matt and I watched it at TFCon, it was a totally different experience. It was amazing watching it with the fans. It was very animated.
I haven't. God, I hate to say a double standard, but like when I watch it with Transformers fans, I think most of us know it's a bad movie, but we love it. But when I watching it there, it's like, you people think this is actually good. What's wrong with you?
I mean, I'll give it mediocre. I'm not going to say terrible, but
it's mediocre. Mediocre is a fair term. I mean,
I think it's fair. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not great. It's a pretty mediocre, animated movie.
This was probably.
I love it too. I've seen it 600 times.
Of all the Fathom events I've been to, this probably had the biggest audience in it. But at the same time, that's not saying a whole lot. Because like when I saw, I don't remember if Mask of the Phantasm a few weeks ago with the Fathom event specifically, but like I was one of literally 3 people watching that showing.
Oh wow!
So did you go see? You didn't go see the Dragon Ball films, the Frieza F or whatever.
No, I went to see Resurrection F. I didn't see Battle of Gods in theater, but I saw Resurrection F, and that I was one of about 15 people.
So my theater was full. I actually think that there were people standing for that showing.
Wow.
Yeah. I was shocked that how full that theater was. Battle of Gods was also full, but it didn't have the same energy in the room that Resurrection F would have. But of course, it's also, that was the first new Dragon Ball thing anyone had seen in years. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Broly should be interesting.
I'm not even going. I don't care at this point.
Yeah, I'm debating going to see that.
I'm probably not. Okay.
I want to, but I know I'm not going to.
Spider-Verse, though.
I would go see that again.
Yeah.
So, Masterpiece Convoys.
I did go see that again.
It's really good. It's the 3rd best Spider-Man movie.
Second.
3rd. So it's Masterpiece Convoy version 3. We got more photos of that. It's so good. Not Masterpiece Convoy, but Spider-Verse. We got photos of a potential retool of Siege Hound, which is what? Hotshot?
Cybertron Defense.
Yeah, Cybertron Defense Hotshot.
So that's cool. I'd love to see a new Hotshot come out. MP20.
I'd love to have an excuse to get another version of this mold because it actually turned out pretty nice.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really nice. So Wonderfest, MP20 Plus, Wheeljack animation colors revealed. Did that come out?
Not yet.
Not yet. February 2019, I think. February or March.
Unless it gets delayed.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I've been skipping out on most of these lately. I did not have an official Masterpiece Sideswipe, so I skipped out on that original mold when it came out. I had a third party. I had a knockoff, pardon me, which I shipped to somebody because I didn't just want to destroy it. But I ended up getting the anime version that came out, and I don't like it as much as the original version. So I don't know that I want more of these, but, it is what it is. So BB-01, Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime, up close photos of the new classic Optimus Prime. And this is so not the toy that people want. It's just, I don't even understand what this is. I mean, it's Evasion Mode Optimus, but it's a new Evasion Mode Optimus mold.
At leader size, yeah.
At leader size, and it's packaged as a Bumblebee movie. So this is just a weird non-entity.
It's something that Takara Tomy could get to market in time for the Bumblebee movie without probably breaking certain NDAs on when they could show off that Optimus Prime was in the Bumblebee movie and what he looked like.
Yeah, and at the time, I guess they, we think that a lot of the CG from the movie was done after the fact. So when Optimus was to show up, he probably was supposed to look like this.
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense with what we've pieced together since. Because, it seems like the whole Cybertron battle thing was also a late edition, which probably necessitated some character model redesign. So, probably, what we ended up with was not the original plan for how Optimus was to appear in the movie.
Yeah, I like this better. I mean, pardon me, I like what we got better, but this is more cohesive with what we've seen, in the past, like with last night. So
I like it. I just don't want to spend the money for it.
I don't need it.
That too.
I don't need it. Let's see here. What else we got going on? More Flame Toys, Victory Leo, Color Star Saber, Megatron, and more. There's a lot of stuff here to unpack.
Yeah, Autobot Megatron.
Mm-hmm. Do want to get that kid eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The Devastator. I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah, I think that
too.
came up in the news again recently, but I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's also one of the model kit series.
Yeah.
And this is one of those,
I don't really like it.
No, it's one of those, it doesn't match how I see Devastator. Neither does like the kit that Jason has. It doesn't fit my Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
What
I just like the
Flame Toy
aesthetic a lot.
What Flame Toy should be doing is Transformers Zone versions of the combiners.
Oh God.
Yeah. I get the feeling that a lot of these Flame Toys kits are based on like specific illustrations.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I want to say the Optimus Prime kit that looked so gun to me is based on one I saw a long time ago, and I think this one is based on a Masami Obari illustration of Devastator that I saw again very long ago.
It kind of looks like some. The Optimus kind of looks like if you take some of the like drawings of Star Convoy, and you strip away the Star Convoy aesthetic, it kind of looks like that.
I don't even understand what that statement means, Brian.
So if you go back to like how Star Convoy is drawn for like some of the Battlestar stuff, and you strip away like the things that make Star Convoy not Optimus Prime, those design aesthetics, it kind of looks like that, I guess.
So what you're saying is that it looked like Optimus Prime drawn in the style of Battlestars.
Yeah, that's a more
reasonable way to express that thought. I believe.
I was working through that thought as I had it. So yeah.
Yeah. See, when you're working through thoughts as you have them, we get that mess. When I'm working through thoughts as I have them, we get things like Disaster Piece.
I remember Rob Springer really loved this one. Get More Woe. I think woe is misspelled though in the way that this ended up working out. It's the first commercial for Cyberverse. It hits YouTube. This woe is spelled W-H-O-A. It really should be W-O-E. That's pretty much what Cyberverse turned into.
It's definitely not for us.
It's not for us. Not for us. And I can't even like wrap my head around it to make it like for us. Like Botbots, I adore Botbots. But Cyberverse just misfires on every single cylinder.
I can't get over how many people were so excited about the episode where Soundwave dances. I'm like, who the hell cares?
I mean, I love
the cartoon is actually pretty good casual viewing.
I like the first few episodes that I watched. I haven't kept up with it.
The story doesn't really go anywhere quick.
It's not supposed to, though. Like, I think that's kind of the problem that some people are having. They're conceptualizing this incorrectly. It's a Transformers anthology short form series that has a loose framing narrative stringing the whole thing together, but the whole point is here are just random episodes and snippets from Cybertron at various points in history during and before the war. It's little bits of story that they want to tell but have literally no other framework or context that they could fit it in, so they're doing it this way. And it makes it also work a lot better for the Cartoon Network model, where they want little short things that they could theoretically rerun ad nauseum. See also Teen Titans Go, even though they probably aren't actually doing that, and most people are watching this when they're posted on Hasbro's YouTube channel, which I, for one, am very glad for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also in August, Nova Star started hitting U.S. retailers. I don't know that I think I saw it once.
Yep.
I don't think I ever saw one in person. I got mine from Amazon.
Same.
Bumblebee movie Jeep mode confirmed. So
Yeah, that was from an auction catalog from where they were selling it off before the movie even came out.
It's funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, Bumblebee the movie, Target exclusive, Studio Series 15, Bumblebee and Charlie set. I never saw this. Did this come out?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen people who have it, so I'm going to presume.
Two. I haven't seen it in my area.
It's the Camaro Bumblebee. And
with the customization parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check your clearance section at this point, because a lot of the other Target exclusives.
Yeah, like the boombox, they just sold through. So I missed out on that. I got the cassette. Yeah, the cassette set. But yeah, I never once encountered this, unfortunately.
And I feel like this is another sign of like a version of this movie that we never have seen.
Yeah, we got our first. Yeah, we got our first hints at Decepticons and Siege. We learned that Bumblebee movie Happy Meal toys would be coming soon. I don't know that we knew at that point it would just be the Cyberverse toys that we were supposed to get before. Because basically all at that point we just had a photo of Bumblebee. I don't think that we put 2 and 2 together yet. Studio Series images, Volkswagen Bumblebee, Dropkick, and KSI Sentry. Those, came out not too long after this. New photos of Unicron. Imaginarium art. God, 3D printed Megatron statue prototype.
Yeah, I do not like their style very much.
Yeah.
Prime One Studio hits more buttons, I think.
Yeah. Like this Imaginarium one, it's... You know how Combiner Wars Armada Megatron looked like G1 Megatron cosplaying Armada Megatron? This looks like G1 Megatron cosplaying IDW Megatron.
And it's got Starscream's corpse below. And that other one was it Dinobot's corpse?
I think that's Ironhide, isn't it?
Is it Ironhide?
Yeah, look at the chest.
Yeah. It is Ironhide.
Well, at least it has an actual fictional basis.
Yeah.
I was looking at the things that are beside the head. I thought that was the Starscream. What do we call those?
The intake or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at that. Yeah, that's Ironhide. This is... Yeah, it says it's 3D printed, so they have a much better 3D printer than I do, obviously. But still, not too crazy about that.
And go ahead.
The positive thing I think I could say about the Imaginarium stuff is that while the style doesn't resonate with me, the consistency of it makes me feel like there is an artist at Imaginarium who is expressing his or her specific view of what these things look like, and I appreciate that is a thing. Like this person is getting to express how they want these characters to look, even if I don't care.
It's like we said before with third party. We'd like third parties to take a more bold view of what they think these characters should look like, instead of slavishly just trying to rip off G1. So Diecast showed off that X-Transbot figure before, which just completely tries to slavishly look like the G1 figure. But then you have all of the I guess the fans toys. What is their subline that it's like there's a different version of Despotron, there's a different version of...
No, it's Make Toys.
Make Toys, okay. Is it Make Toys or Fans Toys?
Make Toys.
Cross Dimensions.
Oh yeah, the Cross Dimension stuff where they do go in and do like a different take on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes...
Hence Thunder Manus.
Yeah, sometimes they're totally win, and sometimes they are not.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. So we have that. More stuff popped up. Bumblebee Barricade and Sideswipe from Fan Expo in Canada. That happened. We learned that Toys R Us dead stock was going to Ollie's. I remember walking in and taking photos of like their smug little signs about how, you know, Toys R Us had closed and they had all their product. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like your uncle died and then your uncle's, you know, your brother, I guess would be your other uncle.
Or your dad.
Or your dad says, I got
a particularly smug necromancer telling you their master plan.
Yes, that's.
Although they didn't have that much product, so I wasn't really impressed.
They did not. They had a lot of it where I am, but they did not have a very broad selection.
Mine had a ton of stuff. It was just stuff I cared nothing about.
Yeah, you know what I mostly saw from Toys R Us dead stock at Ollie's.
Power Rangers, T-Rex Zords.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
Oddly, no Lion Fire Fortresses though.
No, not a one. Thank God.
You
I
can
think
probably
those are still sitting in the abandoned Toys R Us buildings, actually.
Probably.
Because nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
if you've got Nollies near you, though, you've got a fair chance still at picking up a $20 Overlord, and if you don't have him yet, he's worth that.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Blah blah blah. Movie masterpiece, Volkswagen Bumblebee photos. Never picked it up. Photos of Golden Lagoon Convoy packaging and in hand. Shadow Panther packaging photos hit Hasbro. Or the Hasbro Asia exclusive version showed up. Cyberverse Warrior Class Wave 2 plus Scout Optimus Prime stock images discovered on Target's website.
I think that might have been our first indication that the Scout assortment for Cyberverse was a total write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That Optimus Prime looks great.
Yeah, I just got to that image of him in his supposed vehicle mode and just could not stop laughing.
The Superman.
Vehicle. Dun, da, da, da.
Yes, probably. It's
Look,
the worst
kids.
Transformers line ever.
You could be a Transformer too. Just put some wheels on yourself and put your legs down. There you go.
Have you ever tried bending your legs in that direction, Diecast?
Not that direction, but I figured I could bend them the other way.
I have bent my legs, apparently.
So we got photos of like the near shampoo bottle transforming Bumblebee figures. I've never bought one of these. They're what called Titan Changers.
Titan Heroes, this line specifically.
It's like they're larger, transforming, but still
oh
very
god,
horrible
it's Titan
figures.
Changers.
Yeah.
I didn't even see them this time around, unless I just didn't notice.
I bet they turned up at like Dollar General in those places.
Yeah, probably.
Because usually they're just soap bottles. At least these have tried to do transformation.
I mean, Target has carried these in the past too for the other movie lines since they were introduced. So
at the Transformers 2 movie showing, there was a behind-the-scenes Bumblebee, which nobody cared about when I was there. Like, it was went over, like, just horribly. Walgreens, at the end of August, the listing for Retgar showed up. September, new Studio Series official images and details for Studio Series 26 through 30, which is about where we're at, actually, of the things that have come out. We're up to, what, 32 that have actually hit retail at this point?
32, I think, is the new Voyager Optimus, which has not actually come out.
So
we're in the high 20s.
Let's see here. We got photos of Punch Counter Punch. I thought that came out earlier than this, but I guess not.
No, it was at least a September release.
Yep.
We got sad news about Siege coming to Japan with the first wave pricing and items listed. Again, just more stuff that we already have. We learned.
I mean, we kind of already knew that from Wonderfest, where Takara was showing Siege product. That was actually the first place we saw the packaging for the line, and it was all just the same. You could tell it was the same stuff.
We learned that David Sobolov, you would know him, of course, as Depth Charge from Beast Wars or as Gorilla Grodd from The Flash, was going to be in Transformers. I guess he was what? He was Blitzwing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so he didn't have much to do.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah. Did you guys see it?
No.
Okay. You posted that picture, and I wasn't quite clear, so...
Read comments. Chris called me on my BS immediately. I went and saw Spider-Verse again.
You would like it. You really would like it.
Not as much as I like Spider-Verse.
I did not like Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is great. Spider-Verse,
You're crazy.
Past year of bad opinions.
Spider-Verse is absolutely great, but it's not as absolutely great as people are saying. It's absolutely great, but it's not like best comic book movie of all time by any stretch or anything like that. But it is very good.
The movie was way too busy for me.
The movie, if I had to say, it was a little too simplistic. It didn't have the complexity of like some other movies, but for an animated film, it was great. Okay, so God, they're just now we're so close to where we are temporally that some of these things just feel like they're not worth talking about. But when somebody now 3 months from now or a year from now listens to this, I'm certain they'll say, "Why did you glaze over like September?" So we started
because we've already been talking for 2.5 hours.
But LGEX Legends Blue Big Convoy was a fun surprise that we got in September that I completely forgot about until now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So was that a Takara Mall exclusive?
Probably.
Well, it's LGEX, so it stands to reason.
So
it'll be out in February.
So that's coming out, and of course we're getting the reissue, which is still repainted slightly to match, I guess, the animation.
Cartoon more. But I mean, this kind of falls along with the Unicron in that it's recreating or homaging a Lucky Draw color scheme in something that's going to be available to whoever wants to pre-order it.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got official.
It's still no Ultra Mammoth, though.
Yeah. Other than Lucky Draw, I have every version of that mold. I wish I had some Lucky Draws. So Bumblebee, Power Charge, Bumblebee, and BB-02, Legendary Optimus Prime. Karatomi Stop Photos. These are what, the deluxe versions?
No, this is the big Evasion Mode Optimus and the gimmick platform Bumblebee.
The gimmick platform Bumblebee. I don't remember this. Did we already talk about it?
No, it's kind of flash in the pan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Evasion. Oh, and he has a trailer.
No, are we looking at the same thing?
A Bumblebee, BB-01, Power Charge, Bumblebee, and BB-02, Legendary Optimus Prime. That's definitely.
I think that trailer was included one of the previous Japan exclusive Optimus Primes, and they just wanted to show he's compatible, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, okay. Because the photo clearly has it with the trailer here, but it's.
Let me see.
Oh, I think that's actually the MP10 trailer.
It does look like it.
Looks like it.
Let's see. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's what the caption says. Container from MP10 Convoy sold separately.
But yeah, I don't remember this Bumblebee specifically.
It's not anything worth remembering.
Yeah, it theoretically came out here.
Sure has robot arms hanging out from the undercarriage.
Yeah.
That's the one Eric likes.
Well, you would
a lot.
too if you were a Volkswagen.
Ha 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 ha. That's certainly something.
That's movie Eric. That's movie accurate. The arms underneath there, right there.
Yeah, actually.
So we got Bumblebee movie Igniters. Photos popped up online of Barricade, Bumblebee, and Optimus. And again, it's the Optimus. Of course, Barricade is not in the movie, and it's the version of Optimus that we don't see.
Right?
Yeah, so that's something. Studio Series Deluxe Wave 3 found in the U.S. in September. Wave 3 already.
Yeah, that was Shadow Raider and Ratchet and something else.
Cyberverse episodes Fractured and Memory available to watch online. That was what, the first 2 episodes in September? Yeah.
Let's go with yes.
Yeah, that was. And we have reviews of that from an RFC minicast with Bill Ray. So you can check those out at tfradio.net. He and John go and review those episodes. We learned that Chris McFeely, our very own Chris McFeely, is doing Transformers Historia, which is the IDW history of their universe. It's supposed to come out in December. I don't think it did it?
I think it's been delayed.
Pre-orders went up for the Kindle version the other day. I know that.
Okay.
Chris had an
Usually
update on his
means-
YouTube channel, and he said it was coming soon.
Okay.
I mean, if the digital platform pre-orders go up, that usually means 2 to 3 weeks.
So
Yeah, it probably got delayed a little bit. That's pretty common to IDW.
Yeah.
So this is what I completely forgot about until I'm looking at this right now. An MP10 that is real Ghostbusters themed. What in the hell is that
Yes. I don't think we've found out yet.
No, we have not.
Nope.
We speculated a lot, but
That is so weird. I mean,
I forgot about that.
that's more weird than MP711. I at least get MP711.
If they do a good enough job with that, I may want it.
Yeah.
I hope I don't want it. It'll be expensive.
Same here.
So weird. G1 reissues now being distributed to U.S. stores, so that was still happening in September.
Yeah, because I think at this point we saw photos of the shipping cases on pallets.
So
So they were actually in back rooms at that point.
So I thought this was already out. Bumblebee, the movie Nerf Nitro Speed Blast Set. Diecast just, was it you or Rob Springer sent this to the mailing list a couple days ago?
That was me. I saw it at GameStop.
So
It's a GameStop exclusive in the U.S.
we got to play with some of these at HasCon last year. Not the Bumblebee set, but this Speed Blast thing where you basically
at the
shoot
time,
guns.
I didn't know that was reused from previous years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would consider getting this if I didn't have to go into a GameStop, and I don't want to do that.
And it's also like $30.
Yeah.
Oh,
Luckily,
$99.
luckily, GameStop clearances aggressively. So if you really want a Nerf gun that shoots cars, keep your eyes open.
I think it's probably worth that, but I would much rather have it on clearance for like $15.
It's a harder sell for me because I literally only want it for the Space Bridge frame.
Yeah.
And there's Evergreen Bumblebee right on the package.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We learned in again September that we figured out that the Bumblebee Happy Meal toys would just be the Cyberverse toys, but relabeled. Again, I never got a single one of those. So we got photos of that boombox Soundwave and cassette sets. Man, it feels like that happened much earlier, but I guess it was a flash in the pan. It came in the store and it went pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike still has them.
Those started hitting, or at least the cassette pack started hitting in stores late September because I actually got a set of that on the way to watch the Transformers movie showing.
We got first look at Blowpipe and more Transformers War for Cybertron Siege images in September. New trailer for Bumblebee. Generation Siege Deluxe Ratchet to be Walgreens exclusive.
I forgot about that.
I completely forgot about this. So Rob posted this on Zonebase. That at least as of September, that was thought that could be an exclusive. And we of course know that Ironhide is coming out in Wave 2 as deluxe. So we haven't gotten any additional information as to when this would actually show up.
Well,
November.
if I remember right, we heard at the same point last year our first indication of Wreck-Gar being a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this does kind of follow the established timetable so far.
Yeah, all those exclusives always usually end up getting to the store about November.
Even though they have information on them a year in advance.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair. Nemesis Prime Attack Mode exclusive. This is the one that Jason has. It's the model kit from SDCC. October, New York Comic Con Hasbro panel reveals part of the Titan return. Pardon me, the Titan class Omega Supreme, which was just the tank mode. We should see this, probably the whole thing painted, if not an actual test.
Yeah, we'll see it at Toy.
Yeah.
Toy Fair.
Yep.
Did they hint as to whether or not this would be battery powered?
They did
I don't
not.
think there's any indication.
I
Yeah, I
can't
don't
imagine
think
it
they
would
mentioned
be.
It'll probably be the same decision they had to make with Trypticon, where it was either make it battery powered or
But the battery function of
Raise the price incredibly high.
But like, it's like Trypticon is way more involved though than running a tank around
At the same time, though, the motor and the electronics for
True.
the Switch, as simple as it might sound
Well,
in
there's
abstract, would probably be a prohibitive cost. Yes, that's the point I was trying to reach while giving some framework to it.
I remember being so excited about this news and so sad that it was announced through IGN that the Siege.
IGN's not so objectionable anymore, though, is it?
No, but I like it when they work through, like established Transformers sites and such.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, for the last 5 years or so, it's been, MTV, USA Today. Like, they pick a major outlet like that and give them a first reveal thing
it's not like,
every year.
It's not like we can't like immediately jump on it as soon as IGN has it,
Yeah.
but it's still. But they unveiled like Megatron Soundwave, Shockwave, Starscream, and Reflector or Refractor. So that's a thing. Reflector, the pre-order hit Amazon. I wasn't able to snag that.
That's all right. They canceled all the orders.
Yeah,
anyway.
they canceled all the stuff for that far out.
That sucks.
Yep.
A little bit, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really cool. There's a lot of speculation. I think we actually had a special episode based on that, or at least I wasn't on the episode where we talked about it. I remember sitting at my desk listening to it, and I think Jason was hosting, and I kept trying to respond to the podcast while I was sitting at my desk. And I'm like, well, no, wait, that sounds really... Oh, wait, shit. I'm not there. So, just for the record, I really do like Shockwave.
Yeah, Shockwave looks great.
Let's see what else we got going on.
Hopefully I will actually have one in time for our next regular episode.
That would be great. Skytread, Brunt, Laserbeak, and Ravage to the Decepticon ranks and Siege.
Oh yeah, this was the first time we saw Skytread.
Mm-hmm.
And Brunt.
Oh, yeah.
Brunt is amazing.
Yes, Brunt is amazing.
Acting Grand Nagus.
Yes. So many photos here to go through, but this was from New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot about that. There's a lot of stuff from New York Comic Con that Diecast couldn't talk about, so I forget what was,
I just couldn't talk about how they feel, or the boxes, or playing with them, or opening them.
Yes, you were embargoed on that until like the 1st of December, and then the toys started showing up around the 1st of November.
Yeah, it felt like it. Yeah,
it was something like that timetable.
And then they kept moving it, and they moved it up, and then they told us never mind, and then they said we'll email you when it's okay. And it happened to be while I was at work.
That was the same process that happened to me after my movie studio visit. They just kept randomly changing the date, and then eventually it was just like, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 months later, not really, but almost, because I went and did that in like August of 2016, and I think they didn't let us actually publish anything until late December.
Yeah, sounds right. I know one of my trading card game embargoes got moved back to before I actually had the product in hand to review sometime this year.
And also in October, the news item of the year, LGEX Big Powered. We got photos of the Transformer Zone figure. Super stoked, or figures. Super stoked. Again, we talked about this during the earlier part of the show and our news items of the year. But I was like Chris said, his prediction for 2018 was disappointment. There were tons of that going into this, but 2018 ended pretty strong, and I think this is probably where it started. Cannot wait till March.
There is no disappointment about Big Powered.
No,
none at all.
This is where I didn't really care about it because it was just great prototype, but once we got to the actual pictures and saw how beautiful it was in color, that's when I was like, yeah, that's pretty decent.
And you don't know anything about Zone, and that's okay, because you can just...
There's not that much to know about Zone.
Yeah, there's nothing to know about Zone as far as the OVA goes. But you can appreciate the toy. I mean, honestly, Zone...
I appreciate the amount of retooling that went into this.
Really.
Like they put a lot of care into this.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, especially for American stuff, like a big gap of my knowledge is Micromasters, because I just wasn't collecting at that point, and there's just a ton of stuff that I never got into.
No, but nobody was. That's why Transformers kind of ended after Micromasters.
And like for me, that blank spot is Micromasters to some extent, but like really Pretenders. Like Pretender shells I can recognize pretty well, but if you show me an inner robot, it's like, what that?
Yeah. So, but like Zone, of course, follows suit with a lot of that stuff. So again, it's the toys I'm not the most familiar with when it comes to like what filled out like the line, but when it comes to this, I'm all about this. Yeah. This is my jam.
And I was so excited for this too because like as soon as I think just from like the stock photos of Sky Shadow way back during Titan's Return, I was already saying like we need to get this redecoed. I don't even think I was pushing for retool, redecoed as Diatlas, because like all the shapes and lines were there. You could just get that out of that so easily. And it took 3 years, but I'm finally getting my wish.
Yeah, super stoked about
now,
that.
Now, if only that wish for a large sum of money would come in.
Right?
Yeah. So I honestly didn't remember this being the case back in October, but we got that leak of the JD Red Knight Chinese retailer, which is a retool of Age of Extinction Galvatron, which I found myself now really wanting, even though at the time I wasn't, crazy about that toy. But I think this looks really cool. It says JD on it, and it's red. So somehow, some way, I need to figure out how to get this in my collection.
And it's a Freightliner, so that kind of fits.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, diecast. Any leads on Taobao for that?
I have not seen this pop up on Taobao.
Interesting.
Is it out yet?
I don't know.
Who knows?
So Entertainment Earth got pre-orders up of Studio Series Drift with Baby Dinobots from Age of Extinction. Was that last night?
Oh yeah, that was the last night.
Last night. Yeah, I mean it's a little addition to the toy. Not something I'm super crazy about, but it's cool that they did it. Let's see what else. Siege Wave 2 Battle Masters names found on Walmart's website listings. So that was.
Oh yeah, that's where we got Tyraxodon from, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So more Toys R Us news. Toys R Us by this point had closed its doors.
Please read the headline as I wrote it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Toys R Us to get the Weekend at Bernie's treatment as IP holders look to cash in. So this is where
I was so proud of that.
Yeah. We didn't exactly know at the time what everything was going to be, but this was Jeffrey's Toy Box is what it ended up being, which is at Kroger stores. It's a box that has toys in it.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And
lame.
not even all Kroger stores, just like the bigger, fancier ones, which comprise only a small portion of the chain.
It's pretty lame, but yeah, that's almost exactly like saving the toy industry as well, just like the KB people wanted to do.
And that's great too, because we didn't know what this meant at the time, but like Jeffrey's Toy Box really is giving Toys R Us the Weekend at Bernie's treatment.
Exactly right. Later on in October, we learned really what Botbots were about. Hasbro had a press release that detailed what Botbots would be going into the individual 5 and 8 packs, and had art teasing what the figures would be. I was immediately in love. Like I don't know anything about Shopkins or anything like that, but I knew that I like collectible stuff that feeds OCD, and I love Transformers. So this is something that was made just for me, basically, and it ended up being the case. So we learned about Botbots, and I think my year in Transformers was pretty much saved at that point, if it wasn't already done with Big Powered. So October is the best year in Transformers history, I think, potentially. Oh no! So we started learning more about Hasbro lawsuits and possible layoffs. The lawsuit again around investors with alleged not filing the actual impact of Toys R Us's closing on Hasbro's bottom line, and possible layoffs, which I haven't heard is not going to happen. Which they said I think was up to a single-digit percentage of their workforce. So it's not good. Retgar showed up at Walgreens finally. I don't think I still found mine until November. We got photos of Skytread, or AKA Duocon Flywheels, who I love. Photos of that. Unlike Battle Trap, though, it's not 2 individual robots. It's just the individual tank and jet, which I'm more than fine with. Never hurt me. We learned that Studio Series would be getting Constructicons. So what, 6 of them? How many Constructicons were actually in the, is it 6?
7, I believe.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly how many are going to be in the Studio Series. I'm not buying them, so I don't care.
Getting them. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get Scrap Metal, the little yellow excavator, because that looks like a decent / slightly interesting toy. But as for building a Devastator, I could not care less.
Oh, I'm building it. I'm getting the third-party kit that adds the wrecking balls.
Oh God, I got the Legend set that came out years ago. That's the only thing I care about. I don't need any more.
Can that be my prediction for 2008
Yeah.
or
No.
19? A set of Wrecking Balls for Studio Series.
I mean, at this point, it's not that much of a stretch.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think Devastator's going to be done by the end of 2019 though, so you might want to hold off on
But
that.
the third-party
it's not.
kit will be announced.
Okay, so MCM London 2018, we got photos of Botbots, like the actual toys instead of just art. That's pretty cool. We also got Studio Series images of upcoming toys, including at Comic-Con Paris, we got Jetfire, Bone Crusher, and Optimus. So if you want to have your Corpse Jetfire on your, Voyager class or Leader class? Yeah, Voyager class Optimus. It's your lucky year. Luca Comic Con 2018 official images of Siege Luck, Prowl, Six Gun, and Battlemaster. I can't say that. Taraxodon.
Taraxodon.
Yeah, Taraxodon.
I don't. Yeah. So we got photos there of that. Of course, you know.
I hate Prowl
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, Prowl's not my least favorite thing of this so far.
Let's see here. Wave 5 leaks of World War II Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Barricade for Studio Series. When is that Bumblebee supposed to be out?
When stores can actually sell enough of the existing Studio Series product to order more.
Because that would be probably
Yeah.
the next,
So never.
yeah, that'll be the next Studio Series figure that I pick up after Dropkick.
So we haven't been talking really about third-party stuff in here, but Toy World this year announced they were working on their own, basically like fill-in-the-blanks Studio Series compatible figures, and they're doing their own interpretation of the World War II Bumblebee that's supposed to be more screen accurate because it turns into the just the regular like old Mercedes, and then the robot mode based on the armored scout car because apparently plans changed in production of the movie so that Bumblebee wasn't an armored car in vehicle mode, but the toy being designed a year and a half earlier, you know, just the way things go. But like the Toy World option actually sounds more interesting to me because like actually getting the armored car looking robot mode out of the old Mercedes car mode. But, you know, any Bumblebee that's not just another Camaro is probably going to be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of Bumblebee, we are expectations basically were released. It was going to be the lowest Transformers opening ever, which is the case. We saw the Puma, Hasbro RS Cross Transformers sneakers and apparel line. If that's your thing.
No, I think those are actually RSX Transformers sneakers.
I'm so used to saying cross at this point.
Yeah, I know. But the way it's written, I'm pretty sure that's not the intent.
Right.
Yeah.
Diecast, this could, if you're watching the video, the diecast, this could be you. You need that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we have that going on. What else do we have? This is about the same time when we learned about the G-Shock Cross Transformers set, the Watch Optimus. That's already out. People already have that in hand.
Yeah.
God, it makes me sad. I really want that. So, both editions I think are out. The one with the watch and the one minus the watch that comes with the fake watch Matrix thing.
Even the one with the watch comes with the Matrix.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, for when you want to wear the watch and not have a hole in your toy.
I'm fine with having holes in my toys sometimes. Let's see here. We got photos of the Botbots blind box, and we got photos of that. We learned about Jeffrey's toy box. We got the preview of GoBots #1. God, what a great comic! Again, if you haven't,
And Brian was in love.
I was in
instantly.
love instantly with that. The review of Siege Sideswipe popped up. Was that Diecast's review? Diecast had one of the earlier reviews of that toy, if I remember right.
I have no idea.
So, but that started
yes, it
hitting,
does.
Yeah, that started hitting, and people started getting the figures. So the way that this was written, we were invited to Botbots Challenge, and all we got was a ton of fun. So,
Oh, those things are so great.
yeah, they're the best. So those came out. Chris had initially started jotting down the blind bag numbers, and I guess that was
and they're correct. Yeah,
and they're correct, and they might have been borrowed verbatim by another Transformer site without credit.
Yes, but throwing a little light on that got that updated. So
Excellent.
All's well that ends well.
So one of the biggest items, of course, all year was when we learned that MP44 was going to be $1 million.
Functionally.
So it retail was going to be $450. I guess it still is. Because that's how much it's the pre-orders from online retailers are running.
Yeah, even the US version that's not going to have any different audio. It's going to have the Japanese audio.
But we've talked about this before. Like, for these near simultaneous releases, there's kind of an obligation to not undercut the other market. So it has to be priced with equivalency, so that someone from Japan can't just order 10 of those and then distribute them among their friends.
It's a group buy. It's what Don calls it.
Cut Takara out of their profits, and also end up saving a couple $100 overall. It has to be priced close to the exchange rate like that. But yeah, this has a list price of 50,000 yen.
Yeah, so I think everybody's snagging it from Amazon Japan for a measly, quote unquote, $320 thereabouts.
It's still too much.
Certainly
it's still too much. Yeah.
It's the same way I'm getting MP43 for $200.
Yeah.
Look, he's in the trailer.
That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be great.
So I just ordered my Magic Square Optimus Prime, and he was under $100.
That's insane, considering how nice that looks.
Of course, it doesn't have a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a trailer, but
and they at least recognize the basketball reference.
But still, that's less than $100, and to get a reissued G1 Optimus Prime with no trailer is going to be $50. So.
Yeah, which we learned later on. So
we didn't get there yet.
So
spoilers, man.
I know. Just the opportunity was there.
Yeah,
I had to throw that in.
So Chris did a lot of good work to figure out how long or how much you would have to spend to get every single bot that
$167 by my calculations.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's
still not as much as MP44.
Yeah.
No.
So
as much as 2.
Yeah. Going into December, we learned the MP09 Rodimus Prime is going to be reissued. Hopefully it won't suck this time. It's such a horrible toy.
Check back next month.
Yeah, we'll find
supposed to have fixes, so
yeah, we'll see. We got Dark of the Moon Megatron up close photos for Studio Series at Tokyo Comic Con. What was everybody's thoughts on that again?
Man, those soft goods don't look so soft.
I coined the term soft bads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a bunch of photos of MP44 Optimus. Who cares at this point? I think we're all done with that. I'm actually happy that MP43 Megatron was delayed because Christmas, and that would have just completely destroyed me.
Oh, well, no, it was always going to come out at the end of January, and then it was delayed until the end of March.
Oh, I thought it was originally going to be in December. I was pretty sure. Okay. So Bumblebee came out, and Diecast got to see the preview. I missed it because of the fear of snow. It didn't actually happen. And Diecast said it was good. Almost everybody else said it was good. When I finally got to see it.
But he still liked Revenge of the Fallen better.
Yeah.
God. So
and he's not even ashamed of that.
No. I like inappropriate humor.
Such a terrible movie.
You don't say.
Okay, if we're still doing tech specs for people on the site, that is Diecast's line.
Yes, it is.
Somebody shoot me an email. I'll forget about that. So,
Rob, you're up.
So
okay.
Yeah. So Bumblebee ended up being good. And the initial preview, the tickets for that initial preview that happened 2 weeks before the movie came out did get rolled into the Bumblebee performance. So I think the opening weekend numbers included that Saturday preview. Of course, it still did pretty bad.
Currently at 10 days, it's at $66.8 million.
Ouch.
Sounds like a lot of money to me.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? If it costs you $135 to make and you get $67 out of it,
Yeah, you're not doing
how
well.
much did they say it was to make it?
135 million, if I remember right.
Okay.
That may not count like the advertising budget, though.
It probably
It never
doesn't.
does.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's domestic. So I think international, I think we're looking at close to 100 million. Which, remember, Age of Extinction we thought was a bomb because it just made 100 million on its opening weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Generation selects Ricochet and Red Swoop up for pre-order from Entertainment Earth and other retailers. I think most of us are pretty excited about that. We learned, of course,
And Chris finally got his second use of the jazz mold.
Yeah, at least checks that box. I don't actually care about owning either of these.
I want them. I like Ricochet.
I don't know that I want these, but I hope this is a series that continues because there's, just having an outlet for some of the recolors we have not gotten in the last few years is a good thing.
When was the last time we got like a collector-focused series like this? Was it whatever they're doing for Hasbro Toy Shop back in like 07, 08 when they had that
Universe Special Edition?
Yeah, was that it that had like the nice box set that had like Overkill and
Drag Strip.
Drag Strip, yeah.
And it was the Generations Deluxe Optimus and Tank Megatron figures in new decos.
God, that was what, 2009, 2010?
Wow.
I think it was before that.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I kind of look at this as like a formalizing of the almost collector club Titans Return figures we got the previous year and the Amazon stuff we got this year.
Yeah.
It's just kind of making that like an official subline that will hopefully be supported going forward.
Let's see here. Hasbro USA edition, of course, $450. Good luck. Yeah, I know, right? More,
and that's going to be an EB Games exclusive in Canada for
600
like 600 Canadian dollars.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
More G1 reissues coming. Hasbro is putting it up for a vote. Basically, it was Astro Train, a couple of the Seekers, and Perceptor. I guess we'll get them all eventually.
Yeah, probably so.
So, Siege, Greenlight, and Dazzle Strike revealed. Such a weird thing to happen.
Weird,
especially since
but
it's
I'm
the combiner version of that mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'm very happy because it is another combiner limb and a character whoever expected to get a figure freaking Greenlight.
Didn't you predict it the week before?
No.
I thought you predicted something like that a couple of weeks before.
No, the name Greenlight came up in one of the like online from some retailer site. I think we got the name Greenlight.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a solicitation form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I was thinking that you had specifically like called that one. So, my brain, I don't know. It lack of caffeine, I guess.
It's been a long year.
And the weirdest thing about this to me is that, it is not only the Power of the Primes version of the mold, complete with the Prime armor, but it is an actual Siege release and not part of the Select series we were just talking about.
It's so weird.
Also, it has retooled parts.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
So we learned about IDW's new Transformers comic, which takes place on Cybertron before the war, i.e., probably boring.
Yeah, it's a tie. It's basically that things being bought kind of in line with Siege, which you can tell from the character designs for Optimus and Megatron here. And to be honest, my personal opinion is that if Hasbro decided that they wanted that everything had to be rebooted just specifically to tie in closer to Siege, in my opinion, that's kind of not cool. But I don't know. I don't have any say over any of this.
I imagine there was probably more to it than that, but they're just using this as an opportunity to actually bring things back more in line together.
Possibly so, yeah.
Let's see here. What else do we have going on? Walmart exclusive reissue G1 Optimus Prime that Matt mentioned. Such a weird reissue. If it were $25 or $30, I would have been pretty good with it. It's the G1 Optimus Prime cab minus the trailer with both versions of the gun that have come out and the raised version of the fists. that the first reissue didn't have. But it's $50.
It does have the long smokestacks, though, if that's something that has bothered you about previous reissues.
It does have the long smokestacks, and that is really weird. So I don't know.
I was absolutely expecting, the $35 Starscream price point on
Yeah,
that.
no, that's what I had in mind too when I was writing the first news articles about this, and then whoops.
Well, that's where it'll be once it goes on clearance.
Or less, yeah.
If it ever even makes it into the stores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta get Hot Rod out of the way first.
Yeah, I mean, like, they did a poll to get Astro Train in the stores for 2020. I'm feeling right now like that's kind of optimistic too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now we're getting into stuff that we talked about in the last episode of RSC 602, but we'll still cover it for just sake of completion.
Posterity.
Siege, Ultra Magnus, and Shockwave. We got photos of more of those. A big thing, though, HasCon 2019 postponed until further notice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So whether that means it's really not going to happen or it really is postponed, we don't know. I wager that it's probably not going to happen.
It's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge success. Hasbro's not in a great place right now. When I say it wasn't a huge success, it was in no way, shape, or form a success. 2017, even though it was a lot of fun, it was a success in that they pulled it off, and it was enjoyable. But in very few other measures of success can you say it was.
And they said they weren't doing one in 2018 because they wanted to make it really great in 2019, and now they're saying, "Oh, we don't know if we can make it great. We have to postpone it."
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure they learned a lot from it, so they can at least take that with them.
Yeah.
Yes, I imagine, had the 2019 show gone on, it would have been an improvement over the 2017 show. But Hasbro has a lot more things to worry about right now than a trade expo.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, Chinese court upholds Hasbro's IP rights and counterfeit Transformers judgment. We don't, again, know a whole lot about that other than, again, it says it's trademark infringement instead of specifically product, but it probably just is product. It could be anything. It could be stickers. It could be sheets. It could be toys. It could be
Toilet paper.
It could be G1 reissues, quote unquote reissues. It could literally be anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, listen to RFC 602 for more in-depth theories and conversation about that topic.
So we got MP36 Megatron toy out of the box photos.
I still love that thing.
It is fantastic.
I didn't care for it until I really got to look at it. And now I want it. I just never own it.
Yeah,
I'm never going to own it, but I really like it.
We got photos of Unicron out of the box, which of course I have photos of that now because it literally arrived at my house a day and a half after recording that episode of the podcast. Yeah. We got Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime out of the box comparison photos with the prior Voyager Optimus Prime. It looks a lot better. Still like MP38 better, which I don't even actually have in here. MP38.
No, it was somewhere up there. I saw it, but we skipped over it.
Studio Series 38, not MP38. Pardon me. Which?
Oh yeah, it's right about the Walmart exclusive reissue Optimus line.
Yeah, it's
after IDW comic.
It's how Optimus actually looks in Bumblebee. Yeah. Which I guess it makes sense that it was a later Studio Series number because they had to get on that later once they actually saw what the character would look like.
Mm-hmm. After they told them what kind of style of Transformer to put in that scene.
Yeah. So Studio Series 32 Evasion mode. It looks good, but I am waiting for 38. Like I think most people are. We got.
I mean, if you want Jetfire Corpse Power Optimus Prime, you're gonna get this because that's what this is designed for. But give me new Science Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime any day over that.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And of course, photos of Siege Wave 2 Deluxes. I think everybody's pretty excited about potentially a good Ironhide for once. We've never gotten one of those now that I think of it.
But I'm a lot more excited about Six Gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Six Gun forever.
I do love me some Six Gun and some Metroplex, so any chance to fill that out little more. It's really good. So that is pretty cool. And our last item, Siege Ultra Magnus in hand photos, where I was reminded that he is so small.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see the picture I tweeted yesterday?
No,
last night.
I don't think I did.
Oh, yes. Oh
yes,
wow.
yes, I did.
Oh yes. I don't actually have Twitter open right now, so that's
I'll pull you up.
yeah, it's in there somewhere.
He is so
Yeah, if
much.
you go to
smaller.
media, it'll
You'll
probably
also
be right
see a
there.
screenshot of data from Time Zero.
I see data from Time Zero right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, that Rodimus is out of scale with everything.
Yeah, but still.
What?
It looks like a Legends size toy compared
So
to
this is a still from a video review of that Ultra Magnus, and all fairness, watching the video, the toy looks well designed and actually like it'd be fun to mess with. But like everything I saw and heard about it made me just think like, oh, this is the return of the Ultra class, except it's $50 now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
I love Ultra was my favorite size class though, but it was $20 or $15.
Well, I mean, some of the Ultras I loved the most were when it was $25 and $30. Because there was like Onslaught from 2008. And also I was thinking about Shockwave, the way it works reminds me a lot of Cybertron Landmine, which was a $25 Ultra.
I'm thinking
Yes.
Mega, I'm sorry. Mega's
Oh,
the
yeah.
$50 size point.
Oh,
price
yeah.
Point, yeah. Yeah, wow. I love the look of it until I see it beside of something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been thinking about it. Sorry, Rob, you can go in a minute. I've been thinking about it, and like, if they had re-termed this price point to not be the leader price point, but brought back Ultra, but even still had it be $50, like, I don't feel like I would have this disconnect between what was before and what is now. It's because they're trying to sell it still under the same classification that I think I'm having kind of a problem in my head reconciling what they're selling with what it's costing.
I get where you're coming with that, and that's a very Brian Kilby way of thinking through that problem.
Yes, well, we've known each other for literally 20 years now, so...
Yeah, so... but I agree with you. Guys, we don't have to do this for another year.
Yay!
And...
do we really have to do it that soon?
I know.
Again.
You know, this was a lot
Well,
easier.
don't worry. 2019 will probably be like 5 years long if 2018 was 3 years long.
This is
So
true.
If we even live through it.
This is still way easier than Toy Fair.
Not
But
as
Toy
fun.
Fair's
yeah, I was
fun,
about to say,
though.
but significantly less fun.
Yeah, because, like, you know, Toy Fair may take longer and require a little bit more mental energy to actually engage with. But we also have, like, friends and guests on that we barely ever get to talk to about this stuff in real time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's just a lot more to it. There's more surprises, theoretically.
Yeah,
and,
we're seeing new things instead of talking about stuff that we talked about 12 months ago.
I was also going to say Diecast is there and not here, but then I decided that was probably too mean to actually say, so I'm just going to reference it as something I thought about saying, so I could still say it, but
We talked to
pretend I'm
him.
not being mean.
We call him up on Skype, on the phone.
I'm sure
I
he
mean-
likes being there.
He does a good job.
He does a great
It
job.
does.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves running out on his wife for Valentine's weekend.
Every year. Thank you, Diecast. We appreciate that. Do we want to even bother plugging our stuff, or do we just want to go home and go to sleep?
We could,
I want to
am-
go eat my ribs.
Okay. People who were here with us all the way through, thank you for enjoying the slog. We'll be back next week when we'll be doing our predictions for 2019, and we'll be recapping our predictions here in a year. So thank you guys for being here, for suffering through, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
bye.